All right, red lights on. Looks like we're live. What is happening, Fish and Friends? Welcome to another live. Somebody just said Debo's late. Jason, if you look at the starting time, it's 7:35. So we are actually right on time tonight. I think that's what I put it as anyway. If not, hell, maybe you're right. I don't know. Listen, I'm just happy to be here talking with Mr. Randall. What's the good word out there, my friend?
I got the old fire department called on me today. I was outside doing some yard works and I had a bunch of trees and just like limbs and branches and stuff like that down. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna burn them. And then I saw this like murder hornet wasp thing, and I was like, not today, Satan. So I ran to the store quick and bought some bug spray, like some wasp and hornet killer. And before I even got back, the fire department was here, like knocking on the door, like, "What, you got a fire going on back there? What's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, it's smoldering." I made sure to push all the logs apart from each other. It's a big old fire pit that it's in. It's not going to do anything. But
Right.
somebody called the fire department on me. So
Old Dizzle lumberjack leaving fires just to go all willy nilly.
ridiculous.
Oh, Randall. Dub D's. Hello, Fish and Friends. What's up, man? Who else we got in here? Also want to thank all my members, just like Mr. Tom Gross. Tom, you can see that Stubby Dog does appreciate the bed. He's down here with me tonight. We're bachelors for the weekend. The wife took the kiddos and they were hanging out. So let's see. I did already freeze once. Yeah, that's a good sign. Chris in the house. I actually met up with Chris today and fished. He catches only the small fish apparently. So thanks for making me look good, Chris. It's a joke. Last time, well, he sent me 2 6-pounders he caught while we were on lives Saturday nights that he caught on a frog. So talk about jealous. I have to give him crap. So Chris, it was awesome meeting up with you again today. So tonight, Fish and Friends, tonight it's just going to be a bunch of questions, man. Bring your questions, hanging out, talking fishing. Yeah. What do you all have? What? Okay, here's one, Randall. Have you been keeping up on all the ICAST stuff,
No,
releases and gear and lures?
not since the last live that we did.
Okay, all right, yeah, because there was some new stuff that came out. I was going to ask you, what was the one thing out of everything that you saw that you'd be like, okay, that's the one thing that I want to try? And it could be, we could break it up into
Well,
one lure and one piece of gear. Chat, you can weigh in too. What do you think? The one lure and the one piece of gear. That was a good question that Chris asked me today.
let's see. I'm just pulling it up to see. Oh, they put out the listing, best of shows and all that stuff. Category winners.
Yep.
Ah,
Also, I was excited today because I love
what
squirt
it?
and I didn't know they made it in zero sugar.
Hmm.
So I appreciate that.
What is this? The TSUKA carbon handle? The Tuska 2? It's a G2 handle. Anyway.
Yeah, I saw that was like custom part or something, but I don't know much about that.
Yeah, I don't know how you would even go about doing anything with that.
Dude,
Footwear.
Nick, I completely agree. The Strike King Rage Hawk, I'm excited because it looks like the old mosquito. I know some people said, "Oh, that's dumb." I'm excited about that one. I think that one will be fun.
Did,
Jermaine in the house, what's up, man? Said question: tournament tomorrow after a lot of thunderstorms and rain. What are you
Eesh.
throwing? Well, you have to remember that I don't know, probably out your way, it probably won't cool the water too much, but it'll probably muddy it up after a whole bunch of rain and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how much you got, I don't know if it flooded or if it put new pieces of cover underwater. But the thing I always think about is the water clarity. If it's a place that's normally pretty clear, don't count on that being a clear lake. So yeah,
Shimano's got line out now?
yeah, Mastiff fluorocarbon, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting that they got into that whole thing.
Um,
Um,
I,
the
I Go ahead.
the Evo chatterbait, I think that's a big one that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people. Chris and I were talking about that one. I know we've kind of talked about it on a couple of these. That I'm pretty sure the Evergreen, like their patent or the thing, something about that I remember reading is running out. So it's like, is it going to be them looking to try to take more of that market and not split that, the earnings with Evergreen? Is it just
Mm-hmm.
another mid alternative, an update to the old like Elite type thing? I don't know. That'll be interesting to see how that all breaks down. And because right now you can't even buy jackhammers like the Evo, like the JDM ones that you used to be able to get. Now they won't
Oh
even ship
yeah,
to the US and stuff.
really?
So like you can get the normal ones, but so I don't know if that's like a whole thing of that agreement, or I don't know. I don't know how all that
Hmm.
works. Brennan was actually there, dude. Looks like it was a bunch of fun. The new Corrado cast did very well, and the new Evo chatter worked very well too. Yeah, Brennan sent me a message, said that he felt that the chatter on it was a little bit less, so not as much vibration as the jackhammer. But he said
Okay.
started up right away every time. I think that's
That's
the biggest thing. Like,
yeah, 100%. That's like one of the bigger things that I think, the jackhammer, you know, jumps out from all the other ones is the fact that like you start cranking and it's going, you know.
yep, yep. Tackle Talk in the house, dude. I can't. I was gonna post today, but I was driving. Tackle Talk helps keep me awake because literally I drive for like 30 minutes and I'm taking a nap the rest of the way while I drive. So I finally got my Spotify crap fixed on my truck. It wasn't connecting there forever. So I just took it all off, redid it, put it back on. So huge shout out to Tackle Talk. I am not a podcast guy. I don't ever listen to podcasts. He is pretty much the only one now. I used to have a couple, Jigs and Bigs, my guy's looking for fish. Um, Andrew's the most consistent fishing podcast out there. Good stuff. So shout out to him. If y'all are podcast folks, give him a listen. Bunch of good stuff. And he's just, a regular dude that gives unbiased opinions. We had him on a while ago. Maybe look to do that again. But yeah, a bunch of good information. Just comes at it from hey, I'm just a dude who loves to fish. So you fit in with this family. Randy Sully said, I don't know. Nothing spoke to me really out of all the ICAST stuff.
No, honestly, after, just kind of, I'm just perusing again real quick just to see what all's out here. First of all, there's a lot of good looking stuff compared to the first time that we went over it. Um, now I think
Yeah,
there's
if
a
you look at,
lot of,
I think even Wired to Fish has one that had some stuff that wasn't on that Bassmaster one the first time.
mhm. But I'm gonna have to say the thing that I'm probably the most, I don't know if I'm the most excited for it, but I'm the most interested in probably trying is the VMC swinging Ned heads.
Hmm.
Something about those just like it is screaming out to me. I think there's going to be a couple of things about it. If it doesn't swing very well, if it's wonky with the once you get the plastic on there and it doesn't swing right and you have to make sure it's just perfect. Outside of that, I mean, if that's not the case, I think they're probably going to be pretty decent.
My headphones are dying. Yeah, I know a number of people said that one looked pretty fun. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I mean, you look at the old wobbleheads. I say that, and there's different types of them now. Not like a scrounger head. I'm talking like an actual wobblehead, like
Hmm.
the biffle bug setup. Kind of cool as you're moving that. It's not completely stiff connected. It gives that plastic room to move back there. And if you're just sitting it like in a current, this is doing its thing without moving it ever. So if you've got real clear water where those fish are picky, I think that could be fun. But
Yeah. Did you see
some
these
people I
new
know said it
Costa
looked gimmicky.
sunglasses?
I
The
did not. No,
King
I didn't
Tie
look at any of the
8?
apparel and.
They look weird. And they come in like a
Oops, and I skipped Corey. Go ahead.
Oh
Sorry.
wait, we didn't give recommendations for lures for the tournament after thunderstorms. Did
Oh
you
yeah, I just kind of gave no, I just kind of gave my thoughts on it. Lure, I mean, it really depends what he's fishing around, and Jermaine knows how to catch him. He'll be all right. He'll be catching them.
Yeah, that's
I would
always
just say,
like
yeah,
my worst nightmare. It's like, oh, huge storm system came through and then tournament the next day or even tournament later in the day. It's like it's going to throw everything out of whack but good luck, man. I'm sure you'll crush them.
yeah. Um, Corey. So my new reel was rat nesting a little 20-pound test and a 5/8 ounce lure. Too heavy, fluoro. I don't know what 5/8 ounce lure you're throwing, like a jig or something. I would say no. I throw
Well, it
20
depends on
pound.
what rod.
Depends on the rod. Depends on like what you're throwing. That's what I mean. Like how you're casting it and throwing it. Um, you just might have to turn your brakes up a little bit. I mean, if you're having issues with that or just tighten your spool tension, that's something that actually Chris and I were talking about again today was the arc reel, the Gravity 5. Both of us had issues setting it up. It's super free, casts really easy, but we both had to put the spool tension up more than we normally would. I had the same problem with the SLX DC. Normally I just have it so there's just a tiny bit of play in the spool. So like if you, this isn't going to show, but if you click your thumb bar down and you take your spool, listen, just a tiny, you can hear just a tiny bit of click. That's how I normally have most of my reels set up. With like the DC reels, the arc reel, the 13 fishing new reels, all of them have been way more spool tension where there's no movement at all and maybe just a little bit of touching on each end of that spool shaft. So I would try that, but yeah, it kind of depends on what you're throwing and what your setup is.
I guess my biggest thing is rod, and having to like kick myself in the head and think
These are
not
good.
every combo is going to be the same. One reel could act one way on one rod, and then it's going to act some way totally different on another. You know, if you got something super whippy as far as the rod's concerned versus something super stiff, you
And
got
I
to pay
froze.
attention to that. Frozen number 2. Does he want to build a snow? Oh, no, he doesn't. I guess he wants to leave, man. What else? Let me find the chat here. What else did you guys see that was kind of interesting, or that you are interested in from the iCast? Or was there anything at all that you weren't really interested whatsoever in, and you feel kind of disappointed for maybe the second or even third year in a row? Who knows?
Okay, I am back. RODD. I don't even know if I can get back to this. We were quite a ways behind. Ozarks, man, I have not. I've been to the Ozarks when I was younger. I didn't fish. I know it's pretty synonymous, with like the reservoir, deeper, clearer water. That's where the wort comes into play certain times of the year. But I would say don't be afraid to bring some finessey stuff, Ned rig, dare I say a drop shot. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're fishing. If you're fishing some small lakes around or ponds and stuff, I don't know. If we have any Ozark folks in the area, um, give them some tips. But right now, I mean, with it being summer, I would either look deep or look for shade and good cover.
Hella, I'm not going for any of the new Guggen baits. I don't even know what new Guggen baits are out.
Baloney. He's already got a pallet of them waiting to go out and use them.
Randall Pink Floyd said real quick, Debo only wears clip-on sunglasses.
I mean, hey, I'd rock them.
You can do this with them.
Yeah, I almost had to because I was blind. That's one of the few things that I can say was a game changer for me. I didn't realize how blind I was when I would just wear sunglasses all day. Getting prescription sunglasses has been an absolute game changer for me. Gators, to me and Dizzle, what bait do you throw first at a spot has fish? Moving reaction bait or something on the bottom? How many times do you work the area? Ooh, good question. Okay. Dizzle, what do you start with? We go up to a new pond or a new lake. We hit, let's just say it's a rocky fishing jetty. We fish a lot of those. We walk out on it, big, huge rocky fishing jetty. What are you throwing first?
I mean,
I ask?
If it's a rocky fishing jet, I mean, that was a underhand slow pitch softball, just hoping I hit one over the fence. I'm going to throw a jig. But honestly, depending on if it's not one of those bodies, and
let's cover the main ones. Open water, windy, where we see fish chasing bait.
Debo, did you just freeze again or no?
Oh my god!
Oh, he froze again.
Okay, so here's
how
we're gonna do it. We're gonna break down into 4. Rocky fishing jetty or rocks,
okay,
like a rocky riprap bank.
Yep.
So we know you're throwing a jig. 2 is grass, so a grass line. 3 is open water, nothing that we can really see. Maybe there's grass, maybe there's some rock underneath, but we see fish chasing that we can actually cast to open water. And last is, what was it? Oh, wood. So we see like some brush piles and wood up shallow. What are you throwing?
Wow, you didn't go with a scummy water type.
Nah, I figured that would kind of be grass line. So you could fish the actual grass or you could fish the grass line.
Okay. You dipping out and coming back? All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for him to get back to provide my answers. But one of them's gonna kind of be a little bit shocking, and Debo's gonna go head over heels on one of the answers because, hey, buddy, how's it going?
Oh, froze.
Hey, um,
Oh
s-
Lord.
did you? Oh man, he froze again. Y'all are gonna be like toasty before we even get into the second question.
Okay.
Chris, I'm not saying a drop shot.
Man, y'all are going to be absolutely plastered tonight if this keeps up.
I was just saying that.
Okay,
Um,
so I didn't even hear him. Well, real quick.
I didn't do them. I was waiting for you to come back.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're supposed to take over the show and you're supposed to be telling people about all these awesome lures. Okay, so what do you
Well,
got?
we were talking. Don't worry about us.
Oh, okay.
So the first one, obviously, the Rocky Point's going to be the jig.
Okay, we know that one.
The grass
Oh, tackle
line,
talk.
um, the grass line kind of scummy top. Dude, I've kind of been addicted to the frog as of recently.
Oh,
Like,
I love hearing it.
man, I've been out the last few times I've been out. I've taken a frog, a swim jig, Texas rig, and a jig. And 90% of the time fishing, it's just been frog. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've changed to some sort of dark side and I don't like it. Anyway, the weedy grass area, I'm going frog, topwater. And God, what were the other two? There's going to be the grassy bit. I'm
Are you
probably
kidding
gonna
me?
I'm probably gonna go swim jig for the grassy areas. So I can kind of rip it through there. I don't have to worry about getting stuff on the blades. And then last being unsure, spinner bait.
Okay, well, I'm froze again. I'm not sure what's happening here. If I need
You
to
you got some crazy stuff going on, or
I don't know, dude. There's nothing. I looked, I'm checking Task Manager and there's nothing running that usually like if my wife has Citrix or whatever up when she does work from home stuff, but it's my Microsoft Edge that's chewing everything up and I don't know why. I literally only
really?
have StreamYard up.
That's crazy. Okay, well he's done there. So yeah, my lures were the Texas rig swim jig. What did I say? Spinner bait. I've been wanting to throw an underspin recently, but I have a different little box that I put all my like kind of terminal, whether it be wacky rig heads, you know, regular naked jig heads, Ned heads, the whole nine. I put all those into like a separate box from everything else, and I haven't really gotten like those out from where I keep all my tackle to actually tie on an underspin. Debo, I saw what was it? Was it a video? It was a video, wasn't it? Were you
Vidya?
talking about? Were you talking about the underspin?
Was I? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain, wasn't
I had some earlier in the year. Yeah, I was throwing it and had a lot of success with it
it?
earlier this year. Yeah, lots of good underspin days and top spin. I had a couple good days on both different occasions. So
hmm But yeah, so those are my answers.
okay, so I'm going. Let's say Rocky fishing jetty. I'm going Ned rig. That's my crutch bait around anything rocky, solid bottom. You can pretty much catch them anywhere, anytime. It's such a good little bait, man. People hate on it, but I just love going out and catching fish. So
Can I pause you real fast? Real
yes,
fast. I don't know if it's me, if it's the combo, if it's only the reel, it's the rod. I don't know. But that Guggen reel, the gold,
you love it.
no, I have literally not been able to fish it because every time I go out, I'm either getting a wind knot or it's just,
What
it,
line do you have on it?
um, God, what is it? I think 20-pound braid, or no, it's not even a 20-pound braid. It's a lighter braid up to, and tying a Alberto onto, I think, 10-pound floral.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
mean,
that's kind of
it's
the go-to. I mean, that's
wind knots for days, man. I don't know if the reel's letting out too much. I don't know if I'm just a dum dum and don't know how to cast a spinning rod. I don't know. It's just seems like every single time I go out, I can't fish it more than 3 casts before there's a wind knot and I have to cut it and start over. And I'm not going to do all that.
Sounds like a giveaway. Dizzle's giving away a
Mm.
Googie reel. Let's see. So mine, Ned rig, open water, going to be a spook this time of year. If I see chasing fish, weed and grassline. This is where it gets really tricky. So not all grass is created equal. Not all grass is going to hold bass. So my normal answer would be frog. However, I feel like now if I'm going out, if I'm taking all these with me to go catch stuff, either like a wacky rig or fluke. Fluke always seems to do really, really good this time of year when fish are kind of patrolling those grass edges. Whatever that darting action of it, you can just get fish to bite it, and that's something that I've honestly forgotten about over the years. The past 2 times I've fished it, I've noticed that like just throwing it out like a wacky rig or a stick bait, it kind of will sometimes spin and kind of do its stuff. But it's really when you start pop, 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 and get those fish, kind of active, fired up, you can get them to hit it out of reaction, just like you would a normal jerk bait, suspending jerk bait that we all throw. So I'm going to say that right now. That way I've kind of got a finesse. And then wood, got to go with the Texas rig. Texas rig, I think, is the best all-round bank fishing bait probably ever. You can swim it, you can flip and pitch it around stuff. So those are mine.
Anything specific on the Texas rig as far as the plastic?
I would probably go for all around like a larger beaver bait, like let's say a D-bomb that's got action to it, something like that. Obviously a large worm right now during the summer months can be absolutely killer, but just for kind of versatility in case I get some real thick brush and stuff, I would pick that as my one. Do I have any here? No, but Mr. William Critchley, in the market for new jigs, bladed, football, and swim. Flipped kayak on Thursday. Oh no, lost the whole box. Damn. Any suggestions? Not too expensive. So I would say bladed jigs, the Chatterbait Customs. I think they're a Tackle Warehouse exclusive. Wait for a sale. You can get them on sale for like $4 something. Price of a regular.
My recommendation is getting some scuba gear or just letting me know where it might be at.
Go magnet fishing. Yeah. Randall will be over there in the reeds fashioning a snorkel out of reeds and
like what are those cattail things?
Yeah. Yep. Football. I am not a huge football jig guy. I'll let somebody else chat. I'll let you guys answer that. I don't throw the big heavy football jigs out and drag them much. Swim jigs, man, there's a ton of good swim jigs on the market. Depends on how heavy of a thick you want. How heavy and thick of a hook you want. Because you've got more of like the finesse swim jigs, the kind of all around. So like the regular dirty jigs, I think they just call it their swim jig. Oh, let's go over to Tackle Warehouse tonight. We haven't done any screen sharing. They make a really good one. Gosh, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them that are.
I honestly get a little. I feel the 6 Cents has a nice.
They have a really good one. Yep,
I like theirs. Keeper. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't necessarily like about it, and I am a little lucky because the local place that we've been, Debo, they have somebody makes custom swim jigs for them. They make other jigs and some trailers and stuff like that too. But I really like those swim jigs also.
Yeah, the all-terrain tackle Grassmaster jig, which I think they're coming out with a new one. I don't even know if they still make them anymore. I don't see it, but they had a Grassmaster jig back in the day. It was kind of like a bulleted, looked like this sort of like with a bulleted head. Those were some that I used to use a ton. And loved them. Strike King has a pretty good one. No frills. Looking through here, 6 Cents. Now, when you're looking at them, you've got like a regular swim jig like this, and then you'll see ones that will say like braid or heavy duty or California swim jig, Florida swim jig, and they're going to have a much stouter hook. So this is probably like what? Yeah, a 5/0 sea wash, whatever the hell that means, that provides tow truck like power. So in case your truck goes in the water there, you can tow it out with this jig. Multiple uses. Stubby, what the hell are you doing back there? I'm on a live.
He's going ham on something.
I'm on a live.
He's like, where's my pellet at? Where's my Pella? I need my
He does
Pella.
it anyway. He's itching. His collar must be itchy. Oh, Beast Coast. They're a little bit more pricey though. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Dirty Jigs is a really good one. It's just their regular. Is it the? It's not the finesse. It's not the California. I think it might just be the No Jack. Is that the 3 or 4-aught? I don't know.
Never
One of
used
those
them.
that has like the regular hook. There's a bunch of them out there. I would say just look around for a head type that you like. Most of them are always going to have kind of the bulleted vertical line tie, meaning the line tie is like this, as you can see, straight up and down. Helps come through the grass and stuff well. But yeah, there's a bunch of good ones out there, man. That stinks though. I have been the unfortunate person to have my tackle box stolen when I left it at the boat ramp. What are you doing back there? Weirdo. Okay.
Man, I don't. Was it you and me that were out fishing that one time, and some guy like pulled up just like in a hurry in his vehicle and like stopped right behind us and was like, "Did you guys see some guys with a tackle box? It looked like blah 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 blah." Like apparently he had his tackle box in the bed of his truck, and somebody just swooped by and grabbed the whole thing. Man, that is. Ugh. I want to vomit just thinking about that.
Yeah, that would be. So thinking about that, I went bank fishing, and by the end of the day, I will let you know that I had a lot of ticks on me. So this video should be kind of fun because it'll be like dink catches versus tick counter, which ended up being more. That was Chris's idea. Yeah, it was pretty horrible. I came home and just bathed in bleach, so that's why my skin is burning off. But I wanted to make sure they're all dead.
Dude, I was sitting. I went out to the garage the other night to grab something. I needed like a drill or something like that. So I ran outside. And then I came back in and I was just sitting here doing whatever. And I was like, something's on my neck. Freaking tick, man.
Oh.
Freaking tick. Just like from walking through the yard at night.
I like Chris's question. Which new poop bait would you throw? There were a plethora of poop baits that came out on the market.
Did you see that one? I guess I'd call it a hairy poop. The one with all the appendages coming off of it. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see any hairy poop.
Oh, God, what was it?
Going through here, I'm way behind on comments. Luckily, I think it saved most of them. Choices. Okay, people are talking about wacky. I see a lot of wacky rigs, some Texas rig stuff. I had a bowfin on the frog the other night. I would love to catch bowfin and snakeheads on topwater frogs. Sounds a lot of fun.
Dang, did you see that the Tight Lines sow belly 7-inch tube?
Oh, no, 7-inch, huh? Is that like a musky pike thing?
It is a triple X size tube, hand poured for big bass. It says just you're going big bass fishing with a 7-inch tube apparently. It's freaking the G crack. I'm a Kermushi.
Oh yeah, I've seen those where they put like the jig
skirt,
like silicone skirt stuff through it. Yeah,
just sticking out everywhere. That's a hairy poop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Hella, I am jealous as hell, dude. Good for you, man. I wish I was up there. B Horn, this is no good. Went to Thunderhawk Lures, tried your discount code, and it says discount reached its limit. I'll have to reach out to Mike and see what the deal is. No, they just said since we hopped on and talked about the stuff, he said he'd be nice enough to do 25% off to everybody for the end of the year or through the end of the month. Sorry, not the end of the year. I'll have him check that date. I'll text him after this. Tell Mike to get his crap together. Frog bite's been non-existent. Yeah, I've only had one really good day on the frog, Tom. A lot of the places, which is really weird, a lot of the places here that are usually super scummy and vegetation-y are not that way.
But it's been raining more this season, right?
No, opposite.
No?
Maybe that's why. Yeah, it's been so dry and just I don't know.
So
does that affect water stuff?
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking. In general, it doesn't have because usually you get that scum and you get that crud coming up to the top when you get those high sun, like super hot days where it has a chance to, get in there and make things happy inside the water to create that stuff. And I know out here it's been raining like on and off, not like all day long or anything like that, but like, once a day, every other day and stuff like that. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of places where the water's up a ton, which is cool, except for I don't know where to catch fish at anymore. And
In the mouth is usually the easiest.
see, I've been going for the tail and that just hasn't been working.
Sorry, Dizzle.
That's my problem.
Um,
Damn it.
Awesome Aussie Cat. Can we talk about frog legs? What's everyone's favorite? Are we talking the food? If we're talking the fruit, they got to be fried for me.
The
I don't know if
fruit.
the the fried frog legs, for sure, are my favorite. Very good tasting. Chicken of the sea.
Oh, hey, let me tell
Um,
you a real quick fun story.
okay,
Do you know there's a place there's like a city in, I think it's Japan,
okay.
that they serve raw chicken as a food because they have a special way of growing their chicken where it's not going to get the E. colas. I was listening
How
to a
about
pod.
this? How about the salmon manellas?
Yeah, that neither. So like apparently there's a sashimi chicken somehow
Hmm.
where these guys ordered something and they didn't necessarily know what it was. I was listening to a podcast and they were like, yeah, figured out it was raw chicken. And then they also had have you ever seen those things where it's like they bring out this little rock that's super hot and you put your meat on it
Oh
and you
yeah,
cook it
yeah,
right there?
yeah. That'd be
And
fun.
so they ordered some of that and we're just cooking the chicken on there because they were like, no, sir.
Nope. No thanks.
Said it was super good, but anyway, sorry.
No, that's all right. How about you? Frog legs? You a fan? Yes or no?
I
And
don't
then,
know as if I've ever had them.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
If we're talking about like regular, I don't. Yeah, I would assume that's what you have to be talking about, right? Awesome Aussie Cat. Let us know if you're
Skirted.
talking about.
What else is there? I mean,
That's
well,
what
I
I don't
mean,
know.
there's
Like the
the
stupid lunker hunt, like plastic. Yeah. Um, there's like the ploppy footed ones because somebody was asking about the top toads. Yes, top toads are good for whatever reason though, man. My hookup ratio on those is not good, and I'm not saying like all plastic footed, like kicky footed frogs, the hookup's not good. Because I've thrown others, like a Zoom horny toad, the ribbits, like the Stanley ribbits, and I've had good luck. For whatever reason, on the top toads, I feel like I have a not as good hookup ratio. And I know it's a moving bait. Like Teckle Sprinker is another really good one, moving bait like
but
that.
that's not necessarily the legs, though, right? That's the extra, or would you
Yeah, it's the
consider that
tail,
leg?
but I mean it's the same thing. It's a hollow body moving frog. Because I know, like I've talked about it before, and people say, well, it's because it's a moving frog and you're constantly reeling it. The hookup ratio is not going to be good on any of those. But I've had good hookup ratios on some of those. For whatever reason, the top toad, it gets bites though. Yeah, I like it, but for some reason, man, it's just my hookup ratio does not seem to be as good. Any feelings on the Rapala? On Rapala purchasing the majority ownership of 13 Fishing this week? I did not know that. That's interesting. Well, let's see. I wonder if they're going to get into different like rod and reel stuff too. If they're going to have, because they obviously got in the plastic game this week. If you haven't seen or heard from iCast, there was a lot of buzz around those things. No, I did not know that, Tyler. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up. Let's see. What else do we have? Top toads for, yep. Stanley, good ones. Toby Keith acquired Lucky Strike lures? Really?
Yeah, I looked that up, and it was like back in March.
Huh. Yeah, Lucky Strike is an older brand. Lucky Strike spinnerbaits were good back in the day. And I think Lucky Strike is the one that worked with Rick Clunn also back in the day. I believe they are the ones that make the soft bladed chatterbait type thing. It's like a scrounger chatterbait type conglomeration. I fished it. It was pretty cool. It came through because it's got like the back of it is like a free swinging. Well, here, I've got the means to share things and show stuff. I'm pretty sure that's Lucky Strike if I'm thinking right. So yeah, they were definitely a lot bigger and better back in the day. They've kind of fallen off, and it's like Grandpa's grandpa who still works there hasn't changed anything in Lucky Lucky Strike lures for 75 years. Oh yeah, and crankbaits. Oh yeah, they've got the crankbaits too. I want to say one of the square bills I've had really good luck on. Nothing special. I mean, they're not like an expensive brand. Yeah, these. I think it was Rick Clun that used to work with Lucky Strike, if I remember.
Yeah, Gramps, I noticed that. When I looked up, sorry, Debo.
No, go ahead.
Gramps said Toby Keith had a battle with cancer. I know when I looked up the
Mm.
on Google, it showed a picture of it, and I was like, whoa, he's like super, super thinned out, and in the picture that they showed on there. But yeah, apparently he's doing the thing.
I'm trying to remember, was it the Trickster? One of these I threw back in the day and really liked with the Lucky Strike, but yeah, I don't think they've changed much of their stuff forever. So they're just kind of one of those brands that, eh, you know, it's kind of cool looking. Lucky Strike crawl. I like that profile. They copied that crawl off of somebody though. Copiers. I'm kidding. There was a bunch of talk of that.
Yeah, off of Jesus, because he created the crawl originally.
He created it. Now, gonna slap you. Punch the grass. Dude, Randall Pink Floyd, I am not a puncher. That's something I definitely need to work on. The hard part for me is I'm really big on fishing edges. And then if I'm fishing in that
Mhm.
stuff, I'm just throwing a frog. And I know
Or
that's not the best way to look at it, but I just love catching them so much that
I
that's what I'm
I
doing.
along that kind of same note, Debo, if I am fishing something like that, I'm looking for the holes.
Yep,
For
another
whatever
good point.
reason, I'm pitching towards those holes, or like you said, just throwing a frog.
Fishing fix. Which weight to use for Neds? I would say I start with 1/8 bank fishing is usually my go-to. And then is there it's either a quarter or 5/16 when there's a bunch of current. You can go under that. I think there's a 3. Oh, let's just look here. So if you go to like the Z-Man stuff, 1/10 is usually my go-to because they have kind of like the weird sizes. That's my bank go-to. But I'm trying to think of like the EWG Ned heads that I've been making. I'd have to go look at the mold real quick on Do It. But 1/8 is usually my go-to to start, and then they have a size above that. I don't remember for sure, but 1/8 or 1/10 is a really good place to start. Or
I
if
like
it's
the
really
1/8.
shallow, yeah,
1/10
really
is
shallow.
small.
I mean, I suppose you go to 1/16, but yeah, that's super, super small.
Mm-hmm.
Where's their jig heads? And why is my thing not scrolling here?
It's scrolling.
Scrolling. Not the finesse shrooms. It would just be the regular, not the micro. God, I didn't know they had 17,000 Ned rig heads. I think just these. Yeah, 10th or a
Ooh.
6 is what I normally throw on their heads. Bank fishing. Once you get into current and rivers and stuff, don't be afraid to go up to like a 3/16 quarter ounce, so you can get that bottom contact and keep it there while you've got current moving through. So as light as you can get away with and still feel bottom contact is the big thing for bank fishing, because you're casting out to the deeper stuff and then bringing it up a hill, up the rocks, up the whatever to you, and you're way more likely to get snagged than throwing it uh, shallow and then just letting it naturally fall and drop down those rocks and such. So
There was a question about the new Bill Lewis rattle trap.
I did see something for that. I think Mark Daniels posted something on Instagram. It was like a heavy thud or something like that. Wes Lewis, I'm super excited for the Tatula 100. That and the Corrado are going to be definite purchases. I want to try them both out. Also, that's a tank of a LMB that you're holding there,
Yeah.
man. Congratulations. Yeah, definitely will get that. I'm kind of a Tatula Daiwa fanboy on the side. But yeah, there's no beating a good solid Corrado. They've been around forever. Well, I mean, I still have and went on the search to get and I froze again. I'm gonna power bomb this computer. I thought it was done.
So mad. So mad.
Yes, I definitely should have restarted tonight.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, the new Tatula. I'm super excited about that. And I know on the last one I also talked about the new I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's the St. Croix baitcaster reel too. I'm interested in that also. but nowhere near as interested as the new Tatula.
Okay, getting back up to where I was at. I don't even know where frog legs. People talking about frog legs tasting good. Rocky
Frog leg
Mountain
ain't too
oysters. I've
fade.
ate them here, dude. One of the favorites. So people think they're disgusting. If you didn't know what they were, same thing for boiled and then grilled pig ears. Tastes like bologna. People frown at it. Tastes like bologna. You'd never know. And the best was we used to have. So it's a Casey's now in my local town that I grew up, but it was God. I forget what the name of that store was. Gas station. But anyway, we'd go in after school, and there would always be the chicken livers that have been sitting there forever, like in the thing, and she would give them to us for free. Dude, chicken livers and ranch. Oh my gosh, so good.
Gizzards.
Yeah,
Gizzards?
is that what I
No,
said?
no, you said something else. I'm
Oh,
asking
chicken
you,
livers. No, that's what it is though. Gizzards. Yeah, that it's the liver and heart, I believe, is what they are. Chicken gizzards.
gizzards are
Yeah.
amazing. The
Yeah, they're
new
good.
Bill Lewis is it the Hammer Trap?
Yeah, that's what it
Amazing
was.
name.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Like
supposed to
I
have
would
more of
fish it on the name alone.
a thud or a different sound or something. There was something to it. I don't remember what. Do they have
So
it up here? I can share. I forget I
this
have the
article
means to share.
says the Hammer Trap is an aggressive bait per Bill Lewis pro Mark Daniels Jr. Feels
That's what it
closer
was.
to a
Yep.
chatterbait than a rattle trap.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is. I'm trying to think of what
It
the hell am I
has
even looking at? Oh, Bill Lewis.
it
Brain
has
fart
a
there.
tritone sound chamber emitting 3 distinct tonal frequencies that drive fish crazy.
Okay, here's a question. Is it more important to have a better bait or a better marketing description and campaign on these? Which is more important to get you to buy a lure?
I
Which
mean,
one
a
is it
better
called?
name, the Hammer Trap. Or
Oh,
wait, is
wait.
that what I
Don't they still
said?
have the thing? Yeah, they have the thing where we can go here and look at it. New
Yeah, the
releases.
Hammer Trap.
Hammer Trap. This one, okay. So listen, I kind of gotta give them an
What
apology.
the hell is actually even that?
I haven't used it. Of course, I haven't used it yet. But Lunker Hunt makes a lot of not very good stuff, in my opinion. I will give them the old hat tip to this one. This thing looks sick, design
What?
wise. Yeah, design wise, this thing looks absolutely awesome. Am I sharing?
Unfortunately,
Oh,
yes, I
okay.
think you are.
Yeah, I mean, the design on it looks sick as hell. Now, whether or not it actually works, that's a whole different thing. Maybe it won't even vibrate, but sorry, I hate on Lunker Hunt a little bit, but they make some stuff that's questionable. I think it's valid. I don't even
Weren't
see it here. Bill Lewis doesn't even have it on the thing.
were you looking for hammer traps?
Yeah, but I figured they'd have it on
Did you see
here.
it? Just
And
search.
I went right to Bill Lewis and they didn't show it. Must not be up yet in the product stuff. Why was my freaking scroll thing is not even working right? Okay, they don't have it up. But yeah, so they've got a chatterbait sounding lipless. Let's see, Rip 13 Fishing saying they went over to Rapala.
Yeah, it's not on there at all. I went out and searched actual hammer trap and it doesn't show up on Tech Warehouse.
Dizzle dropping that chicken knowledge. And next week maybe we'll do a chicken trivia night. Dizzle will bring 10 chicken trivia questions.
I'm just gonna show up to your house with like different chickens, and you have to eat them all and tell me what you think.
All right, well, how's this one? That one's got salmonella. Try this one. That one don't have it. I raised it specially for you. Debo and chat, Kantar family. What's the best lures for river smallies? Man, I'd have to say Ned Rig. Ned Rig would
Really?
be. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it depends on the river. I mean, how big? How big is it? Is it like? Are you fishing like the main body of the Mississippi where it's 17 miles apart, seemingly what it looks like, or are you fishing like a little river that's, 60 feet across? A little, almost be a creek more or less.
I'm gonna say, well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if it's a real river where it's not, 2 inches deep
Not a
and
fake
whatever,
imaginary one.
Yeah, I'm saying a crankbait of sorts, whether it be lip or lipless. I've always had amazing luck on both.
Or tube. All the old guys will tell you
Oh yeah,
tube is the best way to catch them. But I'm kind of in the oh my gosh.
Gramps just came in with the stupid tube for river smallies.
Oh, yep. Gramps is a stupid tube and SOB. I want to throw it more. Gramps, you need to. I'll shoot you a message. Speaking of the stupid tube, I had something.
Gramps, did you see the sow tube from ICAST this year? The 7-inch tube. You gonna throw that sucker? Oh, Ned Helgermite from Nico or Rooster Tail. I guess that's what they're saying.
Yeah, like an inline spinner.
Yeah, Fat Boy's got a fantastic point. Throw a jig for river smallies, but you're gonna want to cut that jig down. In my experience, the smallies like a little bit smaller of a
finesse
jig bait. Like even if you take a war eagle, I would even cut the skirt down on a war eagle for river smallies.
Compact. Elliot, this or that. Ordered a TFO Tactical Elite. Not sure which reel to match it with. Lose LFS or Shimano Corrado. Both are great reels. I mean, you can get them on sale now. Tackle Warehouse did have the LFS. I don't know if they do still. Let's look.
And what are you fishing for? Also, or like what method are you going after? Just asking.
Yep. Yeah, because it's a 200 size versus a 100-ish size. Am I sharing? What's going on? There we go. Let's see if we actually, let's just do casting. We'll go to lose. Yeah, $75 now. So if you're on a budget, I would definitely go this way. If you're looking for something that's smoother and has more line capacity, it's hard to beat the Corrado. And American Legacy use either Tackle Talk or Gramps' code over there. American Legacy had them on sale for $150 for the Corrado. Don't know if they still do, but either one of those, I would not feel out of place throwing either one of those on there. Tactical Elite's a nice rod. I know they've been on sale at quite a few different places, as we saw from iCast. Looks like they've got some new rods coming out. So, and I need to do a video on. Go ahead while I'm looking this up.
I was gonna say, change that view real quick to the grips. On that the lose grips. I think those are the grips I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like.
They're super flat.
Yeah, real flat and kind of slick. Yeah, the grips suck.
I don't like those grips at all.
I mean, they're okay. Like for casting things, they're all right. Like if I'm throwing a swim jig or chatterbait or something. But like when I get into hard hook setting stuff, like even if you get a little bit of a slam on it, they're really slick. So I put like the covers.
Agreed.
Those Win. I'll show you.
The Win. Basically their Win. I don't know how you'd get those things on a grip like that or a handle like that. Take a drink.
So you could completely replace the handle, but that kind of defeats the purpose of being a budget deal. But these are the ones you can get them off like Amazon.
Dang.
And they're just these like padded. Yeah, and they give you
how much of a pain in the ass was that to get those on?
Not horrible. And I've actually seen now, and I think it's for this type of reel. These are the I think they call them like the barrel style, but now they have some that are like in a V shape. So it's a very distinct
like a half hourglass.
Yes, like a top. It's shaped like that to go on knobs like this where they taper, where it tapers down on one end. But yeah, I love these. If you like big handle knobs, I like a big knob to grab onto. Probably should have thought about that before I said it, but somebody will cut that and make a gif of it.
That's real quick. If you're gonna put
these
grips,
are the Shimano.
Yeah, I like the Shimano's a whole lot better.
Yeah, these are what do they call them? The power grips. They're contoured to the way your finger fits. So it's if you can see, oops, that's the wrong one. If you can see, it's kind of like molded sideways or like at an angle. So the way your fingers, I like it for cast and retrieve stuff. I don't like them for like heavier hook sets. I like a larger handle,
a larger knob. Smack onto the microphone.
Sorry.
Real quick with those Win grips, if you guys are having issues with getting those on, this is like a old school tip from back in the day when I used to regrip golf clubs. You can use, it sounds crazy, You can use just a touch of gasoline. It evaporates very shortly after. It helps get on there a little bit easier, or some other type of liquid is like that. Just helps a little. Sounds crazy.
Let's see. Gosh, I am way behind. 813. Micro TRD. Anybody use? I have not used any of the micro Z-Man stuff. I know the Burley Boys have. They've had a lot of luck on them. I am not
Oh
huge on the
dang!
small stuff, but
Backyard Slingshots made a fantastic point. Only 98 likes with 245 people watching. Come on, guys, it's free. Doesn't cost you a dime. Not even a cup of coffee a day. Just click the like button. Make it happen.
Elliot, if stuff's already on sale, the discount code's not going to work. I completely forgot to say that because you're already getting a better sale. Like if you're getting the Corrado, it's already marked off at, let's see, is it normally be
What I think
25% off?
I
So
was just on American Legacy. looking too.
$200, I believe normally they've marked it on sale for 150. So that's 25% off. So it gives you essentially the better code. I think if you had other regular stuff in there that was not on sale, I think the 10% off would apply to that. So I believe is how that works. Gramps might have told you or something in here, but if I keep going off, it's official. I'm hammered. I know. Why is my stupid thing doing that? Yeah, I am gonna pile drive this damn thing if it freezes me again. Notice any difference with Shimano starting to make their products in China? It's been that way for a while, man. That was actually the whole debate with this one. So after they went from the Corrado E series to the Corrado G series, that was the whole deal of, well, Shimano's, the Corrados are now not as good. I think is, what is that, Malaysia, and what's the other one where the Corrados and some of the lower Daiwa stuff is made? Is it Taiwan? I think Malaysia and Taiwan is where they make them now. But I mean, those companies have their own they have their own factories. You know, you can see they're stamped in the metal Japan, right? Once they went to the G, those were made in, I think, Malaysia. I don't
Do you
remember
get it
off the top of my head,
overnighted?
but
Did you get that one
straight
overnighted?
overnighted straight from Japan. I can go look. Maybe they were at China then once they switched.
No, don't get up. Everyone's gonna pass out.
Well, anyway, no, I mean, I think they still make solid stuff, and even if it is made in China, like Lose and stuff, they make good stuff now. So I don't buy into the whole if it's made in China it sucks. But I know, like, for example, the reason I was saying that, Augie, is because you go back to like the X Prides that everybody was saying, oh, they're such a good rod. I was having an argument with a guy that said I only use Shimano because it's made in Japan and blah blah blah. Well, if you go to the X Pride, that is a rod that's 200 and what? Where the hell is Shimano? X Pride is a $270, $300 rod. It's made in China. It's an amazing rod. Ask anybody that's used it. It's an awesome rod. So yeah, I kind of take that stuff for a grain of salt. I mean, there's some stuff that's better than others, but I just because it's made there, I wouldn't. And I'm not trying to like.
Do you take it with a grain of salt or for a grain of salt?
With. So
Okay.
when I give it, I don't know what the correct saying is. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, I think so. I was just giving you a hard time. Hey, real quick question.
Thanks for
I'm
making
just
me look like an idiot.
I'm on. You're froze again.
And I'm going to power bomb you and this computer. I'm going to power bomb you into this computer. Problem solved.
Holy cow. Anyway, so I'm on American Legacy right now and I'm looking at used reels. Shimano's got some spinning reels out here. I don't know why I'm looking at spinning reels, but there's two different spinning reels. Debo, the Shimano Stella and the Shimano Twin Power. Why the hell are those either $509 or almost $800 used on American Legacy? Not that American Legacy has anything to do with it, but why are they so damn expensive? What?
They're just expensive reels. I don't know. I've never touched one or used one.
Holy cow. Yeah, the Stella regularly goes for just shy of $1,000.
Flip. Maybe it's because oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those handles, they are slick, man. They are
Did you
slick.
freeze again?
Well, at least I look good there. That's actually a good picture of me. I'm just leaving that. Let's stay in that way for the
You're
rest
just
of the
leaving
stream.
it. Well, can you
Yeah.
can you share still?
I'm so happy about all this. Yeah, let's see. Can I? Oh, I have to reshare because
Yeah, don't share anything you don't want to share. Yes, just
there we
leave
go.
it.
Oh
Bef-
yeah, dude, I'm so happy about everything we're talking about. I love it.
So
Because
before we started,
people say I look like a grumpy prick a lot, like when I go to new places and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's just because I'm like when I'm quiet and I'm kind of like just taking in the surroundings. Dude, if I went everywhere like this, I would have friends everywhere. Hey guys, I'm Debo. I love ya.
oh,
Up, I'm to
that's
the part
funny.
where I said big knobs.
Yes,
7,000 people commented on that.
I hung
Oy.
my head with that.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh
That was
man.
my stripper name. Debo Big Knobs. Oy. Let's see. Anyway, we digress.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
Um,
oh my
yeah, how's it?
grants.
What's our like stuff looking like? Backyard slingshots. Thanks for the call out. We better be over 150 now. We got 250 people watching.
We're at 153. I'm just
My
gonna
guys and
refresh it
gals,
for the
I
fun of it.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, there we are. Back to the question where I was.
There you go.
Let's see. No, I feel bad. No. Okay. Debo, I just realized your room is clean. Yeah, man. I got it all cleaned up. I would show you, but I don't want to take off the awesome picture of, looks.
He is
good.
on air too, so that's a thing. Yeah, I mean,
Question.
that's been a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I thought I was gonna have Punch on again, and I didn't want him making fun of my dirty room, so I cleaned it for him. Let's see. Question. Stained water using a lipless. What's the better retrieve to run? For me, the retrieve usually depends on water temperature. So, like early in the spring, I'll go slower. I yo-yo them a lot actually in the spring. So, trying to get above those suspended fish or the fish that are just hanging out in the new growth.
Or
Now,
ripping it through that growth, just kind
mhm,
of jerking it. Yep.
yep. With water temperatures being up now, I'm not sure where you're at, but I'm pretty much anywhere in the country. Burn that baby, burn it shallow, burn it grass edges, get it kind of stuck just in the tops of if there's any grass or vegetation that's like if you're fishing from the bank and it's 8 foot deep, you've got grass that's only growing up to 4 foot. Getting it right in the tops of that and ripping it through it, and that'll often create a lot of bites. But yeah, faster now, burning that around. And see, I'm bad at that because I know they still catch fish, and I kind of put them down. To me, it's one of those again like spring and fall lures, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like a jerk bait. There's guys that throw a jerk bait all year long and crush them. And I honestly put the jerk bait down too, especially going to like a floating jerk bait if you're a bank angle. I don't know if Philip Cheeks in here, but that man is a daggum jerk bait throwing fool and catches tons of them throughout the summer hot months. So.
Yeah, it's really I was gonna do the smart ass answer of the one that catches fish. I mean, try them all.
Yep. Don't be afraid to experiment with it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Glad it's. I have an X Pride and I love it. Yeah, multiple people talking about how good the X Prides are. Let's
What
see.
is an X Pride? I'm sorry.
The Shimano, the rod that I have up right now.
Oh yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Let's see. Joshua, I cracked up with that when I froze again. He said we're all dead. Any reels made in the USA? Ooh, good point. So I was looking at a while back. Somebody told me about these baits. I think it's baits. And then I saw talk of them at iCast. Somebody else was talking about them too. I don't know. Was it iCast or they released somewhere else? But people were asking me if I had used them. Hold on here. Let me find the website.
I can't even look at the frozen picture of you right there.
Baits fishing. Dude, I'm so happy about it. I just love talking to everyone.
What if you get rid of yourself as a picture on there and then come back to yourself? Does it unfreeze?
What do you mean?
So you know how you can put somebody else.
Yep, if I get the right one.
Okay, yeah. So now if you go back to you, it's probably still frozen. Yes.
My name Debo.
My name's Debo.
Okay, so any reels made in the USA. Here we go. So we'll present this. Stop sharing. Okay, so these are the ones that I know of. There might be others, but this was the one that really interested me until I saw the price. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get one, try it out. So they're definitely a higher end, but the cool thing about these, so I'm just going to pick a random one. I don't know. Oh yeah, kind of weird. I think they do different speeds or different colors, which I think was interesting. But let's just say we take this one. I don't know. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe they don't do that now. Hundo is the new one. Let's see. What's their regular one?
Is that one brown?
Yeah, it's like a brown orange.
Niche.
Okay, let's just pick one. I don't know. I was thinking when I went through. Yeah, so this is the 7-1. So the big thing that stands out to me is look at this. So it's all aluminum. So it shows you the block. Can I enlarge this? What's happening there?
Oh, it's the process of it. That's
yeah,
cool.
so it shows you the start block. I assume it's a CNC type of job that does it, but you've got the entire frame, everything all aluminum, including the side plates. So I think it might be both of them. Is it both side plates? CNC precision, yes. So it is bar stock, CNC, one-piece body. Does it say the side plates are that too? I thought I read somewhere where it said the side plates were aluminum as well. And usually you only see that in like the higher price, let's say like a Daiwa Tatula 150. You're always going to have an aluminum handle side. Well, not always. When you step up in those, a lot of theirs are going to have this the handle side plates aluminum, which really cuts down on torque, and the side plate flexing out where you get gear misalignment, you get pinion misalignment.
Blind Eye Fishing said it's a full CNC aluminum frame.
But is it both side plates? That's the question I have. I think it was. I thought I read somewhere. So whether you're the kick-a-mom waiting to treat yourself to something nice, the hell's that mean? Or the lonely fisherman looking for a lifelong companion, Rosa is the one for you. I don't know what the hell that
Mr.
means.
Sully, that's 100% accurate right there.
I'll have to look. We'll have to go back. But I also like this. So it comes with a big handle, comes with the larger knobs. Like everything it looks really, really solid on it.
You're all about those knobs tonight, aren't you, Debo?
Hey, you can see how happy I am talking about them. Look at the picture. Okay, so this one has everything. Yeah, I don't remember what the hell I was talking about before, but does this say one-piece body? I could have swore I read somewhere on a thing that it said it was complete aluminum. Highest level frames with the assembled and anodized clear coat so you can see everything. No plastic frames, no poured pieces, no marketing ploy, blah, 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 no bull.
Blind Eye said, I do believe I've seen it's aluminum, including both side plates.
Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere too. I don't know how that would work for getting like the brakes and all that in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can tell that does look CNC. You see the grooves?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's something you don't ever see. But yeah, I forget they're made in, let's see, for anybody wondering. Whoops, that didn't have it. I don't know where the hell they're at. I thought that would have. Does it give a description of what they're about?
Give a hoot and don't pollute. I
don't know where they're at. They're somewhere in the US though. What is this article? This might be a fun one. Bait cast reel manufacturing. Oh, maybe this is what I watched. I actually, now that I'm saying it, I might have watched this. The breakdown of the thing. I would go out to YouTube and check it out, but I'm pretty sure that's where they talk about.
Someone just said they're made in Texas.
Texas. Okay. Yeah, that's their CNC thing. I could nerd out over this stuff. I would love to go to, whoops. I would love to go to a place like this and see, them making all the stuff, or like, like a Doyo factory or something. I think that would be super cool to tour. Okay. So anyway, there's some baits reels for you. Anywho, screen's getting fuzzy. Oh.
Yeah.
At least now I've ended the suffering. You can no longer see me get up. There will be no more freezes.
Right.
We're good. Let's see. Froze again. Yes, I am staying froze now. Upgrade your computer, Debo. Creepy smile.
um,
No,
who
I've
was
got
it?
free fishing gear. Come on over.
Yeah. Debo's got the white panel van with free fishing gear written on the side of it and like drippy house
Spray
paint.
paint.
Randy Silly said Debo looks like he just got out of Spicoli's van.
Let's see. Debo, you do have friends everywhere. Oh, that's very nice of you to say, Mr. Critchley. Yes, I do. I appreciate the hell out of all you. Let's see. Oh, gross. David. We can't be friends. That stuff is
Yeah.
horrific.
Oh.
Let's see. Where are we at? Trying Shimano Bantam. Try using a Shimano Bantam brand fishing rod. Full Metal Alchemist. I've used the Bantam reels. I guess I didn't realize they made a Shimano Bantam rod. I'm not well versed in like the higher end stuff, but I look like a garden. No. Yeah, kinda. I could see that. I need to get
Yeah.
myself a little pointy top hat and go out there
Well,
looking for me garden. Let's see. Legal here. Both of these. Florida. See, people talking about weather. Yeah, luckily it was beautiful being out today. Except I had to walk up a big arse hill and realized how fat and out of shape I am and thought I might have a heart attack by the time I got up.
dude.
Let's
The
see.
question from Douglas Wagner. This is we're like way after where you are at 8:40. Says, "What's your go-to hook brand?" I use a bit of everything.
Is that what he said or you?
That's his question. What's
Oh.
the go-to? And he said he uses a bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I would say Kamagatsu. I got a bunch of those on sale when Tackle was it Tackle Depot or whatever went out, and when Take a Drink when Gander Mountain went out. Mostly treble hooks, and I was getting like the 11 packs of treble hooks for 99 cents, which was absurd. Kamagatsus are good. I really like the Owner stuff. They have really good hooks. And Mustad. All those are kind of really good off the top of my head. VMC to me is hit and miss.
Yeah. The VMC seems to have those like not one-off type of hooks, but they have like more specialty type of hooks, like with the ringed hooks. Well, I guess the ringed hooks are the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, like their Nico hooks, super good. Like those a lot. But like I've got
I hate the packaging they come in. It's just literally like a blistered clamshell pack,
it's a little
and
clamshell and you love it.
all the hooks are on a piece of cardboard. So if you take them out of that pack, good luck sticking your hand in your hook bag.
What else? I was gonna say something else. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, those are kind of my go-tos. Trokers are good. I've actually got some of the Eagle laser sharps, which I think people kind of frown on because they're Eagle. I've
From
had good luck
Walmart,
with
huh?
those. Yeah, just don't look at them as a heavy hook. I get
Right.
the heavy hooks and I fish them as like a regular because they're not very heavy or strong. But I'm not fishing like for 10 pounders and super thick stuff with them.
Yeah, Wes Lewis nailed it on the head there with the trocars are scary sharp.
Yeah, and a lot of people I know say they don't like the trokers because they feel they cut too big of a hole in the fish's face. They say a lot.
Can a hook be too sharp to effectively catch and keep on the hook?
If it's so sharp that it's cutting a gaping hole in the mouth, where if you allow any tiny bit of room, that hook's just going to fall out, then yes. Usually, though, I would argue that they're using too heavy or too non-forgiving of a combo. Like if I'm throwing a regular hook on like let's say a medium spinning rod, it's very unlikely that I'm going to rip a huge hole in that fish's mouth, especially if I'm using like mono. Lots of stretch in it. So as long as I'm getting that penetration, you should really be seeing the hook penetrated through the fish's mouth with zero room where it's like hard to push it out. Let's say I'm using a heavy power rod like my frog combo, which we're going to talk about here. Chris just asked. Let's say I'm using my frog combo. I've got a super heavy hook on it with straight braid, and I swing for the fences with like a big trocar. What is it, TK1 150 or whatever the normal flipping hook is, and I rip a huge hole in that fish's mouth. If I'm with braid and a heavy power rod, I would argue that that's probably more the culprit than the hook. But I don't know. I've not done testing. That's just my opinion, observation, I guess. But I know multiple people have said that, so there very well could be something to that. Ultimate Froggen setup, Froggen build. If I could have anything, rod, reel, line, whatever I want out there, what am I going with? Ooh, that's a good one. Let's present here. Let's do a little frog combo shopping here, Mr. Randall. Since you've been using the frog a lot too, this might be pretty fun because usually he's like, I want to fish jigs, but Debo takes me to the frog spots and I get upset. But now he's like, yeah, I've been fishing frogs. See, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I just have this spot that has a ton, like a super long shoreline, and then right behind it there's like a secondary like pond slash lake that also has a another shoreline. Um,
So you're telling me it's a body of water that actually has two shorelines?
it's two separate bodies of water next to each other. One of them is like not necessarily an overflow pond, but it's got like trout and stuff in it, trout and bass and a bunch of panfish. And then the other is a bigger body of water that's got bass, no trout, everything except for trout in the other pond. But yeah,
Trout.
tons. And like the most annoying thing in the entire world is I see blow ups happening. Like I'm literally watching bass come out of the water on these blow ups, and they're, I don't know, 10 yards out of the farthest cast I can make. Like perfect conditions. They're just outside of the range. And I just hang my head and single tear comes down my
Mm. I look like a drunk Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
yeah, I saw
That's probably
that.
the nicest thing anybody said to me in a while. I would happily be Gimli. Let's see. Okay, so I was just scrolling through while we're going through some of that. I don't think I missed any huge questions. So okay, so we're doing frog rod. Whoa, what is this? All-Star rods? I never heard of them. Oh, they have one rod. Okay, well, that was a letdown. Okay, so if we can go
You've
with
never
our
heard of
ultimate
All
rod.
Star?
No.
Is that real?
I've heard of Pro Stars. That was a great
I feel like I've heard of All Star before.
Gretzky,
Never.
Jordan, and Bo Jackson back in the day.
Ooh, that was an
Or
awesome
Pro Stars. Sorry,
cartoon.
Pro Stars. Yeah.
Was it Pro
Okay, so what do
Stars?
we got? What's your favorite rod? What's what are we going with here?
Mm,
You don't need a super expensive rod for frogging. I would say probably recently my most favorite has been, and I say you don't need a very expensive one, and I just contradict myself. Let's go with a couple. Let's go with an ultimate build, and then let's just go with, from what I've used, I really, 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 really like that KLX. And it's not their most expensive. It's not the highest. It's $250, so it's not cheap. But I think they make, 300, 400, 5 to the Z-Bone's like a $500 something rod. I really, really like that one. If we're gonna go on more of a budget thing, I'm gonna switch it and do a two-parter here. And Dizzle, you can share if you have one as your go-to.
I honestly really like that Abu Garcia and the Veritas. No,
The white one or the black and red one?
The white one for a frog
Veritas.
rod.
Yep.
There's a good. It just, for me anyway, the way the like the chugging type of motion that I like to fish frogs with, it works very well for fishing like that for me anyway. And I know you are probably going to be a little bit different because you tend to fish frogs differently than what I do. You're more of a walking type of frog. So you would probably want a different type of rod. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 7.6. This is the one that I had. 7.6 medium heavy frog. It's softer, good for like not the super huge frogs. But yeah, it's definitely a softer, more parabolic rod if you like that. As far, I mean, that's a good one. Yeah, I use that one. And actually talk about one of my old favorites was the Vendetta, which is the black and red. They were $70.
Is it gray,
Do they
black, and
still make
red,
them?
or was it
These.
was it black?
Yeah, and it was the version
Yeah.
before this. It was the version that didn't have this on it. But yeah, it was like 7.4 heavy, I want to say. Oh, they don't even show all of them.
I actually like
Do they have a new one out?
The locking, the way that those used to tighten down the reel seat tighten
Oh, they do have a
down.
new one. Oh, that's kind of cool. They redid the thing there. But yeah, I think it's a 7.4 heavy is what they had in this line. 7.3 heavy is what it must have been. And they're out of it. But yeah, at 89 bucks, you used to be able to get them, I think, for on sale at
Mm-hmm.
Walmart. It was like 50 bucks or something like that. Yeah, that's a solid budget rod as well. I like that one. Then there's a couple loose ones I used. I mean, the thing with, like I said, frog rods is you just have to find what you like. It's got to have a decently soft tip on it. It can't be like, I know Randy goes back to the Shields one that he had that was like a telephone pole. And so it was like an extra fast. I like something that's got a little bit of a soft tip to it where you can cast, you can load it up. But then once you get
Mm-hmm.
into it, you get right into that backbone. It's not
Oh, going back
super spongy.
to the question much earlier in the live, whoever it was that brought up having issues with like backlashes and stuff like that with lures on their 5/8, was it 5/8 ounce lure?
20-pound
Yep.
braid
I would have issues with
or
that
fluorocarbon.
phone pole lure, or a phone pole rod, I should say, casting, just because it was so damn stiff. Like every time I tried to throw it, you had to throw it perfectly. You had to cast perfectly in order to, actually get it out there without having any type of issues with like backlashes or, anything like that.
hmm For real, I'm gonna say I'm not even gonna go crazy expensive. The Tatula 150, I think, is an absolute perfect reel. You can go to a 200 if you want more line capacity to it, but I think the 150 all around is just such a good reel. I mean, I've got this thing dialed in. You can cast it into the wind, no issue. I think this holds like 100 and yeah, what's it show? 150 of 14. I forget I had the braid specs somewhere, but you put 65-pound braid on it, you're not spooling it. If you look at some of the smaller, like 100 size ish spool reels, like let's say the Revo X, I was able to spool that, meaning cast it all the way down to the spool on 65-pound
Wait,
braid.
you were able to what?
Down to the
Go
back end.
down to the back end?
So that's mine. My only change to that would be I would put some Gamexus handles on it, which they're expensive for what they are, 45 bucks, I think. But man, I love them. They're nice handles. So that would be my splurge on it. Now you might say, Debo, why not the Zillion? Why not? To me, that's kind of more of a finesse, like a cast and retrieve.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with the Tatula, and they will point it out there, is it has, again, going back to aluminum frame and that aluminum side plate. So any of those things, I actually, if you watch my video on the 200, I set the hook so hard on one, and it's not that I'm that powerful, but I kind of hook that to the side because of my stupid GoPro. I've broke 17 million of those damn dongles that plug into the GoPro for the mic, which you need it because it makes the sound 17,000 times better with that wind
Mm-hmm.
muff and stuff on it. But I did it so hard, I actually bent the actual main shaft in here slightly, and then stripped from the nut that holds it on, stripped the last few threads of that shaft when that completely popped out, like it was bent to the side. Yeah, and that's, I'm not bragging on, oh, I'm so strong. It's a bragging of having a solid aluminum frame and side plate that you're stripping nuts and you're bending the handle. I'm sorry, did I say main shaft? I didn't bend the main shaft. I bent the handle um, of how
That
strong
was
that whole
when
thing is.
was that when we were out?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I heard it. Like we weren't fishing directly next to each other, but I mean, we were not 100 yards apart from each other either. But it was a fierce hook set.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, super solid reel. If I would have hook set straight up, probably wouldn't have had that issue. But when you go,
Mm,
with that heavy of a setup and I lock my drag down, something's got to give in that system, right?
yeah,
So that's usually where you want to have, either a softer line that's going to have some stretch or a softer rod or this and that. But my thing is, I've tested other stuff, and if you don't hit them hard and get them up and turned and out moving towards you and that stuff, if you let them have any slack, if they dig down to that deep stuff into those pad
it's
stems and
done.
stuff, they're gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gone.
So that would be my reel.
Um,
Super good overall reel. I could have a fleet of those and have no problem fishing those forever.
I'm going with the Corrado. The what is it? The 150 HG.
So the 150 Corrado, huh?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm actually using right now.
The MGL 150.
Yeah, the MGL 150. I like it. I mean, you've said this before, and I've totally 100% agreed with you. Like super easy casting, and with the frog, it's not. traditionally fishing, you're not always like, oh, I'm going to bomb this one out here. And it's all about, how far I can cast it. But really, with a frog, you really want to be able to bomb it out there. And honestly, my tattoo I can cast it a mile too, which is my other frog rod that I'm using right now. I have both of those on there. I just feel like overall the Shimano feels a little bit better on getting those fish through. It might be a little unfair because the rods are two, not polar opposites, but they're two totally different.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going with the Corrado.
Yeah, Tranks. I know Tranks is another one that people use for like swim baits and stuff. Super solid. I'm trying to think back to the tackle advisors thing, and he said it was just kind of like a slight difference over like the regular Corrado. There was one main difference, and I don't remember what it was. I'm trying to think back, and that's been forever ago. But I know people like that, and the 300 I think is even stronger. Obviously, it's bigger. You wouldn't need a 300 for frog, and you could. I mean, you certainly could if you wanted a larger frame. But there was something I forget in this one. I am not up to date on the exact differences on it, but good strong reels. The Trank stuff. Lots of people use those for like musky and northern fishing. So
Actually saw on American Legacy they had a Tranks out there used.
Oh, line. Well, I know yours. What's your go-to line?
Do we have to say anything other than Power Pro 65 pound?
Power Pro, 65-pound Power Pro. Yeah, I'd rather go with 65-pound. I've messed with other ones. I've messed with as low as 40. My thing is, I would just rather have a little bit extra like insurance on that.
Yeah.
And go with the 65. Usually it was like I had really good luck with J-braid. This year I've been actually messing with that spider wire, the Dura whatever, which I hated for finesse, but I got some of the 50-pound, as I'm contradicting myself here, that I've actually liked. It's kind of stiff. It's not the smoothest, most supple line.
I tell you what, when I was looking for braid the last time I was
Dura
out
braid is what it's
buying,
called.
I got some, what is it, Suffix?
That's what I was just gonna say, dude. Another really good one's the Suffix 832.
Yeah, Suffix 832, and it's got
Yep.
that. It's not the big selling point of it, but there's a camo combo to it. It's like a camo color, so it goes black, tan, dark green, for your distances or whatnot. But yeah, that's like one of the first times I've ever used the Suffix, and I
didn't know they made
really
a camo.
enjoy it.
Yeah, Suffix is another really, really good one. A little bit more
Were
expensive.
you wanting to share or no?
Oh, I thought I was.
No, you went away from it.
Literally, I had just clicked on that and was showing it before you said that. I was showing the regular. I didn't realize they made a camo one. But yeah, the regular 832, awesome braid. I throw the 65 in this as well. You could probably get away with the 50. It's a good strong line.
Yeah, I think I have. I want to say that's what I. Well, I don't want to say. I know that's what I have on, my spinning reel for, the spinning wheel braid, the backing, I guess you should say, and then I have. Are they both 65? One 65-pound Power Pro, and the other is the 65-pound Suffix.
Yep, good choices.
They're both solid.
Yeah, very strong lines. This I actually like more for like my moving smaller frog type stuff. So like a sprinker or like a buzzbait type frog. It's 8 carry, it's slicker, really like the P-line TCB as well. I tend to go to like a 4-strand or something strong, like I don't want to say stronger necessarily, but I guess more abrasion resistance when I throw like the bigger frogs and stuff. So that's where I like to go to and I think actually now that I say that is
what is
oh no, they have the 4 and 8 in the J braid. Yeah, so I use the 4. And this is I think the best budget braid out there. I mean, it's $11.99. You get 150 yards of it, slap some 65-pound of that on and go to town. So
I have used some. I've used some J braid before. I actually have quite a bit of it. But again, Power Pro is probably where I kind of always fall back on it just because it's one of those things where it hasn't done me wrong, and it's always like it's been there for me, man. It's like
yep.
As long as it's not that Quattro or whatever that one stuff was you had.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, man, I did not have good luck with it. Let's see. I grabbed a screenshot of Debo for Debo. Oh man, the bantam. The bantam line is everything, Matthew says. Line, lure, rods, reels, tools. Is that let's share here. Am I being dumb and just don't recognize what that is? Or is that like a JDM thing?
The what was that?
The Shimano bantam rods. I don't remember the
Yeah,
unless
I
I
saw
see
that
it.
comment too. I don't know if I've
So the
heard of it.
Adrena, Claris, Loomis. Yeah, it must be a JDM thing, stuff that we don't get here. But let's see, Debo. Okay, what else we got? Look at my garden type of look. Oh, y'all are killing me. Personally, for me, oh, this is back when we were talking about hooks. Let's see, Debo the gnome. Man, I must really look like a gnome to a lot of people.
You kind of you do got to know me. Look, you did get a donation just now too.
Okay, let's see. How far behind am I? I'm at 8:43. Gosh, how do I get 15 minutes behind all the time? Let's see, no question there. No. People talking about the owner cutting points. Yeah, so right there, Hammer said it. This must have been before I got to it. I know a lot of people that say that, man.
I do
Of
like the
people.
owner hooks. Like owner was like one of those first. Owner was one of the first hooks that I went to that wasn't your run of the mill type of hook. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh man, this is kind of the next step up from your basic, type of Eagle Claw or something like that. Past like a Gamakatsu also.
Dizzle, we need to get you one of those. Remember back in the day? I haven't seen anybody shoot one of those, but remember when you had
Oh,
two people, and you know what I'm talking about? Two people with like
no.
the hose slingshot thing, and you use it to launch water balloons.
Oh
Did you guys
yeah.
ever do that way back in the day? And you'd have two people would hold it, and then you would like grab in the middle, and it was like a big fist-sized pocket that you would grab, and you put the water balloon in there, and you could just launch those
Do
things,
you remember
dude.
that clip, the viral clip of the one chick doing it on a like a reality show of some sort, and she went to pull it back and it slipped out somehow? Or actually no, it didn't slip out. It went forward and
Hit
didn't
her.
release and then came back full on just in the face.
Oh gosh, no.
I think she died. I don't know.
Yeah, that could happen with that. Let's see. Um,
Mhm.
People talking about, man, there is so much chatter. You fish and friends, I'll have your whole own side conversations and
Did you
memoirs
say
here.
you were using spider wire? Was it spider wire was the one you were messing with now? Or what was the one
Yeah.
you
Yes.
really?
Yeah. Spider wire has always kind of been hit or miss for me. There's been good ones and there's been ones that are absolute
I always
horrific.
thought anytime I'd ever used it, it was super stiff. Just like
Yeah, I
not
forget
pliable whatsoever.
back in the day which one it was that I used that I really, really liked. I don't even remember now, but yeah, it's the Durbraid. So I messed with um the what is it, 10 or 15? I don't remember which one I have, like for my finesse stuff, and it's way too like thick and like very grindy. It's got that very abrasive like kind of feel to it. The finesse stuff I didn't like at all. I thought it was not good. I didn't feel it casted well. The 50-pound though has been strong as hell. I haven't lost a single fish on it. You're going to see a few frogging videos coming up here. It's done very well. So, and it's only a 50-pound instead of the 65. But I think the diameter of this line's a little bit more. So if we go to like a 65-pound here is a 0.41, and I want to say like 0.36 in Power Pro. Is that right? If we go to just like the regular Power Pro is, I want to say 3.6. Wait, what?
Somebody
Oh, there we go.
said
Oh, it's
text.
4.1, so it's the same. Wait, was that
Somebody
50
said
pound that I clicked on, or
what?
was that?
I don't know.
So for 65, it's 0.41.
Mm.
Maybe it is the same.
Lure Lab did just where'd it go? Lure Lab had a comment of
Oh, it's the same
Power
diameter as
Pro.
Power Pro.
Power Pro loses its color. I'll totally agree. It gets faded pretty quick
Yeah, I
compared
don't
to like
know.
some of the others.
I did see kind of exciting. P-Line's come out with, I think they call it an Endurex braid, which is a no fade braid that P-Line's brought out this year. I saw that at
Hmm.
ICAST. That'll be. I still don't have a braid that doesn't lose color after like a couple trips. Like it's whatever to me. It's gonna lose color. If you want to black Sharpie it, do that. But I mean, when I'm in the thick stuff anyway, I don't know that it's gonna matter if it's light green or dark green. Maybe more of an open
Yeah,
water thing or something. But
I've never really, you know, at one point in time, I was always told that if it gets that faded, you should probably change it. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense because if I just peel out a little bit more, it's not faded like the rest of it is. So,
mm. Yeah, there was back when we were talking about he likes his tranks for a braid reel like Froggen.
mm.
I'm behind. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get caught up here. I don't want to miss any good questions. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Matthew. Back in the day, because I talk about old school Gorilla braid, Gorilla wire
Mm.
was the first braid I ever used. Look that up if you want to giggle at some old stuff.
Giggle it or Google it?
Google it. Did I say giggle it?
I think
Google
so.
it. It's because I'm so happy. I can't help it.
Jesus.
Google it.
Taxidermy Debo.
Yes, stuff Debo. Um, yeah, back in the day, Gorilla Wire, and then going to, but it was more of like braid when I first started. It was more of like a squarish, like it wasn't smooth. It wasn't. It's morphed into such a different animal now. It's so good.
Very abrasive.
Yeah, very ropish. Felt like very very hard
Yeah.
rope. Even
Hmm.
compared to like some of the more abrasive braids now, like it was definitely ropey. Okay, let's see what else we got going here for questions. No, no.
Yeah, you haven't gotten to your donation yet, have you? That was
I'm coming
at
up on it here in just
nine
a second.
o'clock.
Yep. Right here. Okay, love the tackle reviews. Eric D, I thank you that for that, man. I want to do more of the gear stuff. I feel like that was something that I was on and it grew my channel a lot, was helpful for folks. And then I got into a thing like those actually turned out to be some of my favorite videos to do, like breaking down a reel and talking about rods
Hmm.
and doing gear. Um, that I got to wanting them so good, like I really wanted to perfect them, that I just stopped doing them. Like procrastination by perfection, I think is what they call it, or something like that. And it's just turned out to be horrible because then I'm not doing them because I want them to turn out so well in the videos. So I need to get back into that because yeah, gear talk. Like if I could work for a company and do gear talk in the fishing industry, I think that would be my ideal gear something. I don't know how I would
You
go
know,
about it,
I
but
I
oh
think
yeah,
I've
Vicious. Vicious has a no fade too. Sorry, Dizzle.
no
I
problem.
did see that one. I think they released that last year, right? So it'll be interesting to see. I've never used it, but go ahead. Sorry, man.
I was just gonna say I've told you like 1,000 times probably it wasn't, I don't know if you'd consider it gear review, but it was when you broke down the bait caster. It was when you broke down your dad's old school bait caster for cleaning. I was like,
Mm.
dude, that gives me anxiety just thinking about all of those little parts and all of those little pieces and making sure that they get back together in the right way,
Yeah,
man.
it did me too because I didn't have like it doesn't have a cutout or anything of or a exploded diagram or anything. So I
Yeah.
was kind of flying by the wheels of my pants. I found an old like picture to picture type thing that somebody had posted way back in the day,
Mm,
which actually helped because some of the parts I was like, shoot, which way does this go in? But yeah, I always try to take them out in order, lay them down exactly the way I'm going through them.
yeah.
So Eric D, sorry, I don't even think I said your name. Eric D for the $10. Thank you so much, man. I need to get back to doing those. What would you like to see? We've got 264 people in here right now. Maybe we'll get a good, if I get kind of a landslide of one piece of gear, rod, reel, let me know.
You know,
Vicious. Vicious is another one I haven't used.
never used it.
Yeah, I know people have talked about it, but I have not used it at
Is
all.
that a
Anyway, go ahead.
Berkeley subsidiary?
I don't.
Oh, and then he, you know what he did? He clicked out of it. He meant to hit back, and instead of hitting back, he hit the X, and he closed it out, and he's gonna come back any second now.
Oh,
There he is. Oh, and he's unfrozen.
darn it. I pressed
Freeze
back on the.
yourself.
Oh, I have to mimic it and freeze, hold this the whole time.
Wait, nope, that's not it.
I don't even know what it was. Dude, my smile, I have the worst, like, prompted smiles, like, smiles, like, and people are like, my mom always says, quit doing that stupid smile. I'm like, this is my real one. I'm trying. I
This is
hate
just me.
having to do my real smile.
Brandon, Mr. Brown Bako,
Gosh, dang it. What
904.
moose?
That, this, or that mono floral braid for the rest of your life.
Ooh, we've been asked this one before. I would go mono.
I'd go floral.
Cheaper. I can use it on everything. I can adjust the rod to be faster or heavier to account for the stretch in mono. Definitely not as sensitive. Definitely has
I
its
just won't use
drawbacks,
none of
but
them wussy lures like you use on the mono lures.
you and your monofilament.
I go
Let's
floral.
see.
Just me.
You can't do any top watering then.
I will.
Oh,
I
actually,
tried
throw buzz bait, moving baits, I guess. Moving top
that
water.
day we took the boat out and had all that top water. I was so pissed off that day I didn't have any mono tied on. And you're like, you need to have 14-pound mono and it's gonna work out fantastically. And I was like, I don't have any of that with
14-pound P line or 14-pound. I was gonna say that P line no fade. Trilene XL in the red box, crystal clear blue.
the
So
blue
yeah.
haze. Yeah.
Gosh, I love that stuff. Best, and it's only what is that? If we go
It's
check
super
here,
cheap. You're not hearing.
it's like
Why?
6, 7. Yeah, I have to go back in since I
For
did
sure.
the back thing like a big dummy. Was I at line? Where did I go here? There we go. Trolley. Yeah, Vicious. Are they owned by? I don't think they're a. Chat might know. Chat, do you all know? I don't think they are. I think they're separate. I don't remember seeing that under Pure Fishing. What was I going to? Oh, Trilene. Wait a minute. Why is there not a Trilene? Do they not carry Trilene XL? What? Is it under Berkeley because it's Trilene? Berkeley Trilene? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, and they don't have the crystal blue. So it's Trilene in the red box. Whoops, prices. Yeah, let's see, 14-pound, $5.99 for 110 yards. Spool up your whole bait caster with that. $5.99, can't beat it. Still, in my opinion, the best OG line out there. But they make a crystal blue, I think is what it's called. So this is
I
clear.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, get the crystal blue because like in the sun, it's like a crystally blue. Once it gets underwater, it doesn't have that. But you can tell that way when you're looking down at your rods, which one has the mono on it, because I'm horrible at remembering what the hell I spooled up on stuff. So,
and it feels like it's just like very. I remember I've caught multiple pike and walleye in one day on. I don't remember if it was like a jerk bait or something like that with that like 14-pound mono, and it held up like nothing. And I was
it's
boat
tough. Yeah.
flipping, aka shore flipping, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Bank flipping.
Yeah.
How much does everyone spend on tackle every month? That's not fair for me to answer because the money from YouTube, I put back into gear and that type of stuff. So if I wasn't blessed with all of you all watching and supporting, I would have 1/1000th of what I own now. Normally, I would say probably if I didn't have, like, if I was spending my own money, I'd probably say $100 a month, 150.
And it's not even just necessarily like,
and that's averaging out because every month I wouldn't need to do that. What is your deal? Do you got to go potty? You got to go outside, or do you just want up here because you miss me so bad? Well, get up here. Oh my God, you're a needy
it's like
dog.
those. It's like
get up here.
There isn't a monthly allotment that I would like save for or anything like that. Frank said $17 in parentheses. Dude, my wife is watching.
Yeah, like $5 a month.
It may be $5. It was on sale. Don't worry about it.
Sit.
But realistically, for me, it's like there's never been a specific amount that I've allotted. It's always been like, oh, I need X, Y, or Z. Let me go to the store and buy 15 times what I actually went there looking for, type of scenario.
You're not a lap dog. Sit down. Sit.
Mr. Stubbies.
Sit down, Stubbins dog.
Stubbers.
He is very much a cuddler. Sit on your lap 24/7.
Or try to like do the like bolo wrap you up with the leash.
With his leash. Yeah, here, Randy, will you hold him? I come out and Randy's doing river dance trying to get untangled. Yeah, Mike, I'm honestly the same way. I pretty much only throw braid on frogs, and I have braid on all of my spinning reels because I go braid to a leader. I don't do that on casting, but on the sensitivity, you can't even touch the sensitivity of braid, or nothing. No other line touches the sensitivity of braid. So for spinning stuff, for sure, my way to go. Yeah, Warren, a lot of people will say that color the if you're using like a dark green, color the end of your braid with a Sharpie or spike it. Now, I don't know how much this would throw it off, but spike it has a black marker too. So it could be that garlicky, scenty.
So would that hurt? Because I know like in the past when I've used spike it, the actual little jars versus the pins, like if you put your lure, your plastic in the spike it too long, it's going to some of the plastics that I've used in the past, it will like basically eat away the plastic and not make it as it'll reduce the life of it, make the legs real easy to rip off or something like that.
I guess I haven't noticed that. That's interesting. Loved your SLX and SLXA. Yeah, that was a fun one. I love doing stuff like that. Looking back at the old ones, talking about what's changed. What else do we got for?
One thing I was gonna say in lines with different videos that you've done. I've really enjoyed not only the one I participated in, regardless of the law enforcement that showed up, I guess if you'll call them that, but the casting comparison ones. Those are super fun. Like they're always
like the casting distance stuff. Yeah. Those I would love to do that. I need somebody with me though. It just takes way too long when I have to walk.
Yeah,
and then like read the measurement and then come back, switch cameras. Like it's a pain in the butt. So I need like you or my old man. Somebody to help me when we're doing that.
Ooh, we could do that with the Temu lure or Temu reels.
Procrastination due to perfection. Listen, don't say you heard that from me when you're explaining this to your old lady. I don't want to be put in trouble for this. Let's see. Backyard slingshots. I appreciate again 195 likes, 264 watching. We better hit 200 likes tonight. 64 of y'all over that 200 mark could still give me a like here. It's free.
Did you touch on the Yoziri braid? I don't think you did you?
Yoziri braid?
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever used that.
Yoziri? I
think I have some. I've definitely used the Yoziri fluorocarbon top knot.
Yeah.
I had great luck with it. People say it sucks, but and I also like the Yoziri copolymer, which is a really good cranking line. I liked. It's kind of that softer, but it's I don't know what I was going to say there. Softer. I don't know where I was going. Anyway, I liked it for cranking. It's kind of like the P-Line. They have a couple different copolymers too. The P-Line Floraclear. You have to go up a size though. So like if you would normally throw 12, go up to like 14 or 15 because it's thinner, but it casts super well, doesn't hold memory. What am I looking at here? What was I looking for? Oh, Yoziri braid. Yeah, I've got some, and I don't think I ever spooled it up. I think I got this on sale at the Gander Mountain Clearance.
The Gander Mountain, take a drink.
Yeah, I've got some, but I don't think I ever spooled it up.
Oh, Debo, you know what I realized today?
What?
I did. Well, it wasn't today, but I realized it the other day when I was putting labels onto my box that I have all the like jig type of heads, whether it be Ned rigs, shaky heads, things like that. The labels that I was using, do you know what kind of label maker that is?
I have no clue.
What kind of method the labels are made by? It's not the old school where you have to
Is
Crinkle
it
'em close.
thermal?
It is a thermal label
Oh, you got a
maker.
thermal label maker.
I've
That's
had one for a
awesome.
while. It's like a Dymo or something like that.
Huh. I didn't know they made those.
Yeah.
I ruined Happy Debo. I know. I'm no expert, but 832 is the best. Yeah, they make a really good braid.
It's good.
Army. Debo, are we going to see you at Spruce Creek this next weekend? Gotta make the trip. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, is that Indiana? No. Is that out with Gramps? I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about tomorrow. No, I am. I am at home. I will not be traveling. That didn't work out this time. Hopefully, we talked about it, Gramps, and I. Hopefully, we can do like a meetup maybe this fall because I'm going to camp out there and stuff. That way, I don't have to get a hotel and spend a bunch of money. So, hopefully, I would definitely love to meet Gramps and the crew. So, people talking about the different types of lines, braid to leader. That's kind of cheating though. People talking about Stubby Dog. I know you're such a good boy. I love this boy so much.
He is a good boy.
What else? No, I don't want kisses now.
We had, I don't know where they went. I thought they showed up for a little bit longer. Oh, let's see here. Chris Russ, a member for 18 months.
Damn, Chris.
Said forgot about the monthly. Can't believe it's been a year and a half. Oh, he must have been signed up for monthly reoccurring or something like that. I'm not sure. And Mr. Brown Bait Co. Dang it, it's been 6 months already, he says.
Yeah, I don't get to see any of these on. That's the crappy part about StreamYard. I can't see any of this stuff where it gives those updates and all that.
Is there any way to tell like how long you've been a member?
I have no clue.
Oh, my thing is, I've been a member for a year. Come on now.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
A year. I've been giving you money for a year, Devo, and what do I get out of it? Nothing but harassment out of you.
Oh, it's love harassment. Only because I love you. Oh. Let's see. Can we talk gravy?
Hey, you should use your other hand to pet on Stubby because I don't know as if everyone's here for ASMR or not.
Oh, can you hear it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Early.
I didn't know that. Okay, Stubby Dog, you got to get down. People don't like you up here.
I didn't say you got to get
scratching. Yeah, Randy's getting all upset. I don't want Randy to cry on screen. So I know you poor abused little dog. Poor thing. Let's see. There was another question I saw here that was a really good one. Security card video at your work site, hilarious. Yeah, that was a funny one when Randy and I were doing the casting test and the security guard rolled up on us and was like, "You can't be here."
That was funny. I don't even remember what he said. He's like, "Do you work here?" And I was like, "Yeah."
No,
Mr.
you're like, no,
Sully.
but that guy does, or something like that.
In honor, Mr. Sully, congratulate, bravo, sir. Just bravo for that. He said, in honor of my 16 months here, he changed profile pictures.
Oh, I hate it when people do that. It better not be me smiling.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, there's Shan the man. Shan, what's happening? Hope you are well, my friend. Were you at iCast? Did you go down for anything? Let's see. Gosh, I don't know where that went.
Brandon, why'd you get kicked out? Brandon said the drive back from iCast stopped at a really good-looking lake and got kicked out. Private lake?
Yeah, you can't fish people's farm ponds, bro.
They don't have farm ponds over yonder. They're more like what are they? Condominium, private lakes. I don't know.
Drainage. What do they call them? Drain irrigation. Whatever.
Oh yeah, you can fish all of those though. That's fair game, I think.
Yeah, I have no idea where that question went. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? What else we got for questions? We still have 260 people in here. Y'all are crazy. And I'm at the end of it. Okay, y'all got to hit me questions here. Shan said he was at iCast. Was it fun? Did you see anything there? Shan, what was your favorite thing that you saw over at the iCast stuff? Brendan, what was your favorite thing too? I don't know if I saw yours. He was doing the iCast stuff.
Mr.
Okay, so
Sholey, you need to make a comment so Debo can see
oh
the
yeah,
new
where's he at and what happened here? Did he
profile pic.
Randy? People talking about the lines and stuff. Okay, let's see. What was it? I had a question I was going to ask you
Oh,
earlier. Then we went on 17 different tangents.
was it Ben? Ben says, I think Florida's required to stock all waters, including neighborhood retaining ponds. You said something like that,
I've
right?
heard that. Yeah, I believe that's a thing where there's some sort of requirement where they have to stock them for something. Shan would probably know. Dark Sizzle.
Um,
People mistake Dizzle's channel for Dark Sizzle, so I'm sure
I
we've given
have
her like
no, I don't know where it was,
7,000.
but that came up, and people you may want to follow either on Instagram or
Oh
on
my
YouTube, one
gosh.
of the two. And I was like,
Randall Williams
what the
Solely,
hell?
shame on you. Shame on you for doing that.
That's amazing. God, what was the one I just saw?
Best lure
Somebody
besides live bait. I would say a little grub, like a little grub on just like a bobber, floating that
like a
around on a little
twist,
hook.
or like a twister tail on a small jig head.
Yep, like a little twister tail bouncing that around. The Old Town pedal kayak was really sweet looking. I did like Jeff, and I watched their video on the electric kayak thing. I know there's a few of them that have that. This was like a pedal assist. That was pretty cool. So you could put it on like different modes of like power 1 through 5. So as you're pedaling it, like helps assist you, like a assist lawnmower thing, self-propelled type thing. And then you can put it on a full auto where it's like you don't have to pedal at all. It's just like a regular trolling motor. I thought that was kind of cool, but my aluminum kayak, I don't have to pedal it anywhere. It's got a trolling motor on it, so it's hard for me to justify the yak game. Ooh, what rod series would you pick that's all you could use? Oh my gosh, that is hard as hell. I will tell you, funny enough, before I had my issue with them, still to this day, I think, and there's a few that are like this. So it's this type, and it doesn't say, it's not like a Fuji reel seat or whatever, but I think still to this day, I've showed you this one before. The way this fit in hand, it was the Arc Sniper
Mm.
series. I think these were like $200, $180, something like that back then. But the way this thing fits in hand, I can absolutely lock it, and it goes nowhere. There was a time I was considering like switching to all these and reaching out to them to be like, "Hey, I freaking love this rod. You want to do some stuff together?" And then, yeah, stuff happened with that when I bought some rods, and I was thoroughly not impressed with their customer service. So
Hey, this is kind of maybe a question for you or
hold
Mr.
on, we got to
Brown.
answer this quick. Hold it,
Okay,
hold that.
man.
What rod series would you use if that's all you could use? I would have to go midline, mid price, because let's say I'm buying these. Let's say I can only pick one, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying them. I'm not going to say like a $700 Adrena or whatever the new one they came out with was. Um, Gosh, dude, I don't know. I don't even know off the top of my head. I interrupted you there like we were going to answer this, and I had it all planned out, and I don't even know.
You're not no, I'm gonna take that back. I was gonna say the Bass X at first, but I'm not. I would not hang my hat on the Bass X rod for the rest of my days. I don't know if I can handle that or answer that because
Yeah, that's a hard one.
oh man. No, I don't have an answer for that. None at
What
all.
about the Fuego or the Pro Qualifier reels? They are both reasonable on eBay secondhand. Daiwa Fuego, I loved. It was essentially a step down from the Tatulas because it doesn't have the T-wing line guide. Still work great. I like that one. Pro Qualifier reels were all right. They're a Doyo reel and they look almost identical to a Luz, but I would take a Luz LFS over the Pro Qualifier any day. Talk to somebody like Jim, Tackle Junkie. He used to use them a ton. I will preface it with that. The older Pro Qualifier reels, everybody says were better than the newer ones. So I don't know if they changed how they're making them or where they're making or something, but I wasn't really impressed. I got the anniversary one when Jim shared that, but it was only $50 when Bass Pro had the Bassmaster Classic sale. I got that blue and gray one. It was like a something anniversary special color or whatever. And it was okay. For $50, it was great, but like compared to an LFS, I liked it better. But
The question right after that from Backyard Slingshots, I was thinking this would be a good one for you and Mr. Brown Baitco as well to kind of answer. I know both you guys kind of do that paint and stuff.
Best one's going to be a Bob Smith BSI 2-part epoxy if you're using it inside. Doesn't have a smell. You mix the 2-part epoxy together and paint it on with a little paintbrush. Just make sure you have a heat gun. You can go over it real quick. Takes the bubbles out. You'll get your excess epoxy thinned out so you don't get it all thick and clumpy, and just slowly paint it on there. In my opinion, that's what I would use. That's the best because there's no smell. Like if you use KBS is horrific. Stinks like hell if you do it inside. You've got to have an exhaust system. Which, funny enough, that's what Brown Baitco said. Dude, yeah, you have to have exhaust. It smells awful.
Or just hold your breath for a real long time. Don't do that. I was joking.
Oh no, Hammer, the battery thing on it is just part of it. So you can still pedal. It's got the pedal portion to it. So it's got like a trolling motor thing under, like the prop looking thing under you. So you can pedal it without anything turned on. And then you can also turn it on and have it assist and stuff. So I don't, maybe that wasn't to me, but let's see. Shan, what was your question that you had too?
The one we just talked about, the paint one. I saw that and figured you and Brandon would be able to answer that.
Shan, the hot topic, putting me in the hot seat. I'm fine talking about this. A lot of negative comments about Berkley lure designs. What's your opinion on Berkley? We could have a whole show about this because, so I guess, where does the line stop for being a complete ripoff of a brand? Where does integrity come into that? And where does just regular lure making come into it? So what he's referring to is a lot of the Berkley stuff. Rapala got the same feedback that they're direct knockoffs of other companies, right? So like, I think the Berkley one is the Nessie or something. It was some swim bait I'd never even heard of. So that kind of brings me to my first point is a lot of this stuff is very like the people that are upset about it. Most of them are, it's like a very niche JDM fan people that I feel like want to have these lures that nobody else can get. Because if you ever go look for these things, like you can never get them. They're never in stock. A lot more expensive. And then I know people are going to argue that with, well, that's because they're a smaller company. They're the ones that put all the research and design to it. It costs them all the money. Some big company comes along, rips the idea off quick and makes it cheaper. And yeah, that's what it is. But if that were the case, whoever made the first spinner bait with an R-type, wire and blades, nobody else could have ever made those. How many spinner baits are there now? How many worms, ribbon tail worms are there now? So it's a fine line. I don't have the answer. I don't support either way. I mean, I like Berkley and what Berkley's done. I mean, that's business, right? Whether it's ethical or not, that's how business works. Somebody comes out with a shoe, somebody can have a direct knockoff of it for cheaper. I don't know. It's a very slippery slope. I understand what people are saying, but at the same time, if I can never get this JDM product that's $50 and Berkley makes it readily available to me for $15,
it's hard to say, and it's going to be it's more or less of, it could be the same bait, it could be a jackhammer versus any of the other ones that are like a jackhammer, maybe,
right? And
it's like
that's the thing.
It's what you like.
Z-Man got that patented, so nobody could have the direct blade locked to the head. Once they got that, they patented it. And I know that's something that somebody else brought up, was if your design's so good and it took you so long, why didn't you get it patented? I don't know how that whole process works and what all kind of hoops you have to go through, but that's another good point. Z-Man, protected that. It would be just like anything of anybody making fishing or not. Fishing is just so cutthroat now because there's so, the big companies have such a, a stranglehold on the market.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is. I mean, I like Berkley. I think people crap on them a lot and they're kind of the focus, but it's happened. Somebody else was sharing there's a mega bass lure that looks exactly like it too, and nobody ripped on mega bass for having like basically the exact same lure. So
yeah, like you said, I mean, if it was a case of, whoever made it first, there would be whatever the oldest bait making company around would be. I mean, they would be the only bait company there is. I mean, otherwise, because at the end of the day, a craw is a craw is a craw. somebody's copying somebody else. So
I think the big thing, which I do agree with, is when they come out and they're like, "Oh, we researched it for so long, we innovated this, and like we created this thing." I don't agree with that. When a company comes along and they essentially, because I would assume they get samples of this lure and they're like, "How can we get as close as we can to this?" That is BS when they're coming out and being like, it took us so long to innovate this. If they were to just release it and be like, we wanted to bring something similar of, something else that somebody else uses for an affordable price, I don't know that people would be so pissed off. Maybe. I mean, people nowadays want to gripe about anything, it feels like. But yeah, I get both sides of it. I mean, I tried to look at things.
real quick, Gators Adventures, I think just kind of said it perfectly. Said, spent my life doing this in the grocery industry. Store brands mimic national brands, slight formula differences.
Yep.
I mean, you're gonna have similar. Maybe the craw is gonna have little dots on the legs versus a flat, smooth leg. I mean, it's
Right.
again, it's hard to say, and I don't, I don't put anybody down for trying to make their own or do their own or come out with their own. I think it's awesome as long as you're not blatantly just like, oh, here's my chatter or my bladed bait. Don't call it a chatterbait, even though I had to grind off Z-Man on the blade itself. It's not me. I
Right.
didn't do
Yeah.
that.
That's where it gets sticky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brody, best terminal box. I actually just picked up a couple new smaller boxes to mess with terminal. I do not have a go-to, and I am not very organized when it comes to terminal stuff. And I've realized that when I was looking for Ned rig hooks and wacky hooks, I'm like, I know I literally just made a bunch of these and I couldn't find anything. So I'm like, I gotta fix
Hmm.
this. So I ordered like a little Fraybill one. I want to say a Bass Mafia smaller one. And we've got our terminal boxes. I think Randy used his. Gosh, I forget who that was. One of you awesome subscribed Fishing friends sent both me and Randy one of the Plano terminals that I found the other day that had got stuck under my other Plano stuff. So I've got one of those. I have
Dude,
no excuse because those
one
are
of the
not cheap.
things that
Hold on,
I've
Stubby
kind
Dog's
of,
got to go potty real quick.
yeah, I'll
He's
just
been
answer on my own here.
okay.
Um, the Flambeau Hammer just brought up Flambeau for rust protection. Flambeau actually has a like coffin-esque box for like double or even triple treble hook baits. I know Bass Mafia has one also, but the Bass Mafia one is like I friggin' $60 or something. And you get the Flambeaus for maybe 30 and they work just as good. I think I have, I don't know, six Flambeau coffin-esque boxes. Those are really nice. I did also take all of my, see, I was going to like big Ziploc bags for like all of my hooks and things like that, like non-weighted hooks. And I've actually I found a, I don't know, it's probably a 4 inch by 3 inch or maybe 6 by 3. I don't know how big the actual little like tote-esque box is that I found, but I've thrown all of my hooks in there inside of their little actual packages that they come in. I've cut the top off where it'd be like on the hanger hook, but I know that works. That's been working really well for me. And then actually at Walmart, I found in the crafting section, I actually found like a little like compartmentalized box. I think it's got 8 different spots in it that I've thrown all of my weights in, whether it be the bullet weights kind of thing. Yeah, Daniel, Bass Mafia, Guggen. I don't have anything Bass Mafia besides the Bass Mafia bags, like the money bags that Debo got me. Debo got me all those bags, including the Guggen ones. He forced them upon me. Oh, hey, buddy, I didn't realize you were back. What are you chewing on?
I had a granola bar. I'm addicted to these things. My girls get them. I know they're not amazingly good for us, but there's
What?
lots of things that I eat that aren't good for us. These Sunbelt chocolate chips, they like
Yeah,
take them to practice and stuff. Dude, those things are so good.
I like. What are they? The Belvitas.
I do like the Belvides too.
What is it? The is it blueberry? I think.
Hmm.
But those are money.
Yeah. Hey, man. Somebody's got to do it. I could move to Florida and catch all the big fish, but that's too easy. It takes way more skill to have this gear and just catch dinks. So touche.
Um,
How about
Hmm?
if you could only fish? Gramps must really want to know this from Gramps. Question: if you could
Yeah.
only fish one rod series, dude, I don't know. I mean, there's so many good ones out there. Somebody said the XP, the Dobbins Champion XP, the blue, black and blue. I think they're like $250. I've got a couple of those. Really, really like those. God, dude, I don't know that I could pick one. You would think I would say Daiwa more. I really like actually the Shimano Corrado rod. I think that's a really good buy for a good deal for the buy. See, my thing is, I'd really have to put everything listed out because again, going back to this rod question, if I can only use one rod series, I'm assuming I'm paying for them all, right? If somebody else is paying, then you just pick an expensive one and it's whatever is going to be good, right? But I'm going to say I have to buy all of these and I have to get rid of all my rods. You can only have one rod company per fishing your DNR. You can only use one, thing. And I had to buy them all. That would be hard. I'd really have to weigh it out. Multiple people said do a video of this. So that might be a fun one can kind of break down. Because that's part of the fun for me is using all the different stuff. So I don't know, Gramps. Slap me when you see me, but I don't know that I could pick one, to be honest.
I couldn't. I haven't been outside of St. Croix in the Mojo series. I don't know as if I've been. Well, I guess the Abu Vendettas. Outside of those two, I haven't been brand loyal to anything really at all. I mean, I kind of just go all over the place.
Dude, I have not had that issue. Yellows and cracks really easily. I've got old ones here that are still these are from when I first started, and that would have been, let's see, that was before. So it would have been like 20. Is that 2020? Maybe if they're in the sun and stuff, maybe like if they get exposed to UV rays, maybe that impacts it. Here's one right here. That's an old one that turned out really well. I mean, there's some chipping on it where it had hit rocks, but I mean, that's kind of superficial. And that was before I had a heat gun, so it was still kind of bubbly on the bill. I did the whole thing just to make it all. Let's see. That might be I think now that I say that, I think that actually is a KBS. See, I'm a big liar. But I know I've still got some that are epoxy, the 2-part BSI. What was the other one? Maybe that's the thing is I only more recently started using the BSI. What is the other 2-part epoxy that people use? Or no, maybe it was the BSI. I don't know. Now you're making me second guess myself. I need to go back and look and find some of my old ones that were 2-part epoxy. Can I find one quick? Here's one. Okay, so this one I don't do the bill. So the difference is the reason I know that after I looked at it. So the bill on this is a do it one. You can see I just barely touched part of the bill with it. But when you dip KBS, you dip the whole lure. So you put it on like a wire, dip the whole thing in, bring it out. When I use the paint on the epoxy, I don't do the bill because it's kind of thick. You have to make sure you thin it out with a heat gun. Otherwise it gets really blobby and you can get it kind of pooling in spots. So that's one there. And that's over a year ago because I had a video on this. You can watch me catch. This is the day I was catching those walleye, Dizzle, on this 40 jerkbait in the grass, just like we were talking about. So maybe over time, maybe more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years or something. I don't know. But so far I've not noticed that with any of the ones I've painted. This is one too. Actually, this one's pretty cool. This is a flat side with the epoxy, and you can get it crystal clear sides on it. Thing with KBS is you have to be careful of temperature because you can get it to bubble on the ends of some of them. And I'm not sure there's an exact way to completely combat that. I suppose you could use a heat gun, but double dip or something. I don't know.
At 9:43, Bassless Chap said, question. Where'd it go? Question: why did Lunker Hunt make a spider?
That's a great question. I don't know why.
But only one size of spider, huh, Depot?
Yeah, lure lab. This is another really good point, and I don't know what this whole process looks like. But like, yeah, for example, I would like to see that more if they're working with like small designers and stuff. Spro collaborating with KGB. So for all you don't know, KGB makes like the big. I'm going to say they're more expensive now because he's gone over so well. But like the resin swim baits he was making in his garage, putting them out. I've actually got one. I've got one of the Chad Shads that now go for like 200 and some bucks. It's stupid. When he first started making them. I think I got it for like 90 bucks. But anyway, yeah, they worked with Spro reached out to him and they did a collab, you know. So yeah, I would like to see more of the big companies do that. I um, definitely agree that would be good. Let's see. Question: what is the blank on a rod? So the blank, if you're talking about just the plain blank itself, that's going to be like all the carbon graphite layers. It's like little tiny paper layers. If you've never seen them made, Owen, go look up a video on it. They start with like a gosh, what is it? It's not the shim. It's the metal rod thing. Scrim, is that your scrim? Gosh, I forget what they call that. Anyway, they start with a metal rod and then they roll these tiny sheets over it and they can weave them different ways and stuff. But then you've got different epoxies and things they add on it, and it's essentially a big straw because they're hollow inside. If you've never seen a rod or broke a rod, it's essentially just a really big straw, you know, a cylinder, and that's the blank. Then you have to add all the components and that stuff on it. So it's essentially the rod before everything has been added onto it.
Like the eyes, the cork, the reel seat, the whole nine, right?
Right. Yep. Guides, all that. Let's see. Question. Any insight? No. Man, I opened up a can of worms. Shan, you opened up a can of worms on that question. I knew it would. But that was just my cat or my yeah, like Bayou Burner said, it's copycat world. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's right. I'm not talking about the ethics of it. I'm just saying it happens like everywhere. You know, if that was only one, you know, only one lure could be made, where does that stop? How different, I guess that's kind of what I was getting at. How different does a lure have to be for it not to be a copycat? You know?
Yeah, in order for it to be considered something new or
Yeah.
innovative or different in some way,
Yep.
shape, or form.
So I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I'm not saying one way is right over the other, but let's see. David, did I see not impressed? So I'm lost. I impulse bought a Daiwa baitcaster, having never used one before. It's a Fuego. What rod? Oh, I thought he was gonna say he didn't like it. I was gonna say you sound like Randy, and then you end up owning 6 of them. What rod? Dude, these questions are so open and hard for me to answer because depends on what you're fishing around, what you're fishing for, what lures you're really gonna use. I've got a bunch of old, and I need to start doing those again too. The rod reel line relationship to kind of help talk about how each one of those works in conjunction with the lure.
You know, honestly, that's like one of those things where it's very appreciated. Like I appreciate it a ton when you did like videos like that because I'm not a smart guy. I do what feels right for me. And a lot of the times you make fun of me and call me stupid and stuff like that when I'm like, "Oh, look what I'm throwing here." You're like, "You dummy, that doesn't go together whatsoever." But I'm like, "It feels right. Just
I
let me
make
do what I
fun of you and
want."
call you stupid. See how he
No,
treats me,
like,
folks?
but realistically, how many times have I sent you a text or called you and been like, "Hey, dude, I want to do X, Y, or Z type of fishing, and I have this for a reel or I have this for a rod. What do I need to do with other stuff to go along with it?" You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. I need to bring that back. Stuff like that, getting into more of the talk. Real quick hammer. You can add Flambeau rust protection tabs to your favorite box to add rust
Mm-hmm.
protection. Another good thing, like if you have a pew pew case, they can be moisture. You don't want moisture in there. A lot of people will get like a ton of those little silica packets. So you
Yep,
can
I keep
save
them
them.
out of my beef jerky.
Yeah, you could do that. Or
I don't
the
do
little
that.
silica packets will like a lot of people do it with clothes, like you get them with shoes or whatever.
Yeah,
You can throw those in there, and what those do is they absorb the moisture, and that's really where you're going to get the rust from. Like if you're throwing a jerk bait and it's still got a little bit of water on the hooks, you throw it in there, water sits, it rusts. So you can get those packets. I don't know how good it is compared to like the Flambeau thing, or I think Plano.
right.
Actually, I
Yeah,
think the
the
Plano's
Plano Edge boxes have like a big
Yeah,
it's not a divider. It's a little bit bigger than a
it's
divider.
this. I wonder if we can
Yeah.
break this open for testing. Maybe I'll do. Oh, you actually can get into it. But I bet it's just like silica stuff in here.
I
Oh,
bet just is it a silica
it's
packet?
a freaking silica packet. So you bust this open, and this is their
Jeez.
secret to it.
That's
Edge,
crazy.
dude. Do not
Oh,
recharge.
did he freeze?
Do not
There he
eat.
oh, damn it. I thought you froze.
Yeah, it's literally one silica packet in a thing. That is funny as hell.
Isn't there a God, what is that one?
There
There's
you go,
another
folks.
company out there that has some sort of I want to say
Hey
is
Dizzle,
it
you like
built
these, right?
isn't it built into the dividers? Is that one of the
It's one of the
uh
brats that you stuck in my leg.
brats? I thought didn't I give you that brat that I stuck in your leg? I
No,
was like,
you
here,
hung it
keep
up
that.
with all your stuff.
No, I didn't hang it up. I gave it
Oh,
to
you
you. I
might
had to
have.
have. I think
I
I
think I
did.
just
You
put hooks on it and then
you probably threw it away or something.
no, I was pushing it
Um,
and got it snagged.
does Flambeau do they like infuse their dividers with
Yeah, so
rust
there's
protectant or
our
something?
I don't have one here, but they call it like the Zerust, and it's got either like a coating or something yeah, on the dividers. I don't remember. I don't have one near me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how
Hammer
different
says
that
they
is.
have it in the dividers. I've never
No.
I mean I've used Flambeau, but I've never see I'm weird. Like I don't change a whole lot of lures. I just suck at fishing and I usually break stuff off. That's why I tie a new lure on. So I don't have a whole lot of issue with the lures being wet when I change them, to a different type of one. I just break them off.
Yeah, that's Chris. Going back to that question, that's something else that I was trying to think of because I want to make sure they have the specific rods that I want. Like if they only go down to a 7 foot, I'm back. We're going back. We're circling back to the rod question that Gramps was poking me on. Um, Chris brought up a good point that I want to make sure it's a specific line that would have a bunch of different rods because I want to make sure I get what I like. Some rods I like to be a little bit softer. Because some companies will go one way or another on like a specific line. It's like it's very fast action versus like very soft rods. So okay. Anyway, here's a good one. Would a Shimano Corrado 7.2 Heavy be a better jig rod than a Champion XP 744? I have not used the Corrado Heavy, so it depends on how soft it is. Because I have the Corrado, I forget which one it is, but I really like it for moving baits because it is soft. When it comes to like jigs and Texas rigs, I like just a little bit of a soft tip, but I don't really like the whole rod being soft. I like it where I can load it and flip, pitch stuff in there really well with, a little bit of a flimsy tip. But once I set the hook, I want it to be getting into backbone. So normally that's what you'd call a fast action. But I don't know. I haven't used that heavy, but I would think both of those would be good picks. I really like the Champ as a jig Texas rig rod. And I think I have the 7. I don't even know where that rod is. I don't remember which one I have, but let's see what else we
Ooh,
got.
Chris Russ says Chris, I assume you're referring to the packets, the silica packets. You change them out once a year. I mean, if that's the case,
Yeah, you have
that's a
to
heck of a
change
thing.
them. You have to change them.
Well,
That's why they
yeah.
say do not recharge on them because they can only soak up so much before they're done.
Did you freeze?
Oh my god, I did!
No, you froze
I hate this
again.
computer and stupid thing.
God, we should have had a frozen counter going on tonight. That would have been
Gosh, this one
amazing.
looks like I'm baffled and 2 sheets to the wind or something. And I'm displeased with everything that's going on now. So we had Happy Debo. Now to end the night, we're almost at 2.5 hours. We'll go maybe 2.5 hours. We'll see what keeps going on here. But
Yeah,
you're gonna get baffled and displeased, Debo, to end the night.
Michael
Round it
M reiterated the fact that silica packets they can only absorb so much.
Yes. Yep. That's
Like
why they say
damp rid. I don't know if you guys have wet basements or anything like that, or damp closets. Damp rid is a product that's kind of similar to silica, but much bigger scale.
Falcon. Yeah, Falcon's a company I've never tried. I think I have the M1, whatever the swim bait rod. That was the first one of theirs, but I've never used any of the other like regular Bass Falcon rods and stuff. Let's see.
Wes, I can't read that. 953 Wes asks, taking my 4-year-old out pond fishing tomorrow. In general, what are your lure recommendations for little anglers outside of minnows, crawlers, something like that? I don't know, Debo. That's more of a you question.
I would say waxies. Like if you're just going out and
Mm,
catching like the big wax worms, not like the spikes, but just go to your tackle shop and get like some big wax worms. Bluegill always seem to eat those, especially like the green sunfish around here.
mhm.
I mean, you can get into crappie and all kinds of other stuff, but just a little deal like that, they eat it, as opposed to the reason I say that is because as opposed to like putting a big, huge night crawler on, and trying to soak
True.
that, maybe more you'll get catfish and stuff, maybe bigger size. But if
Mhm.
you're just looking to go out and have fun, man, throwing that around, kids will have a bunch of fun. Let's see. Lots. Somebody said, oh, yeah. Awesome.
Ooh.
Ozzy said, why did Lunker Hunt make the skitter lizard? I don't know. Good question.
uh,
Debbie's barking.
Bro, is it Brody Bassett at
Hold on.
954
I'll be back.
question?
Debbie's barking. I forgot he's outside.
Okay. Brody, I think Debo would answer just stick with the tackle warehouse bag, but the best fishing backpacks. You said you had the tackle warehouse bag, you wanted something I can organize better and isn't high on my back. That's the one thing I didn't like about the tackle warehouse bag. I felt that it just rode too high on my back for whatever reason. Even with the straps fully extended. I went to the old DSG, Dick's Sporting Goods. I want to say it was like the Samurai. It was Samurai was the name of the bag or the company that makes it. I felt like it had plenty of storage, one big pouch, smaller pouch in front of that, and then it had kind of like not drawstrings, but had a little open pouch in between the two bags with another little bag on the outside, almost like a molly bag type of thing. I like that one quite a bit. Debo won't necessarily be able to answer because he's you know, really all about that tackle warehouse bag. But I know we've talked about it before, and that's kind of my go-to. I'm looking it up right now, see if I can get
I
you.
have multiple ones. I have that Row Deal or whatever cheap sling bag. That thing's actually been awesome for a cheap Amazon bag. No issues with it. And I got another. Somebody sent me a random backpack. I don't know if it was the company that just sent it to me, but it had no note with it or anything. That was the one. I think I showed it in the video a while back. It's like a little
Um,
camo small backpack thing.
yeah, the one that I have that I use right now is the Samurai Tackle. It's the COG Slim tackle bag. Um, that's I like it a lot. I can fit a bunch of stuff in there, and it's not like overly obnoxious, I guess, and it sits pretty well.
Dang, you guys are still streaming. Giggity, 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 goo. All right. Well, we are. I think we're about out of questions, and I am. I am getting tie red. Ooh, the flambeau lasts for years. That would be interesting to see how long that does stay
Hmm.
moisture absorbent for.
Absorbent. Where does it
Depressed
go?
gnome Depot. Yeah, I'm displeased with all the chat now. I don't like it all.
Question for you from Mike M. Favorite Ned rig bait besides a TRD?
Oh, that was the one you answered. Favorite Ned rig bait besides TRD. So I will say I've been using the larger TRD type stuff more. So last year I used a lot of the X Zone one. I also messed around. Actually, the first fish that I caught this year was on the large TRD. But I would say instead of going, always going to, whoops, why can I not share? What the hell? Share screen. Instead of always going to like a super finesse, this is where it kind of gets, into the muddy waters of, oh, just throw a shaky head then. I don't know. I don't have the right answer for it, but I really like the EWG Ned rig hooks, jig heads. But I would say going to something a little bit larger, not crazy large, but something just a little bit larger for a bit different look. So they have the regular Ned rig baits, which are good. I like them. I've thrown them. But I actually like their Nico Ned Zone better. It's a little bit longer. I think it's 4.25 inches. And I've had a
Actually,
lot of luck in this.
Debo, isn't your favorite the Ratlin Ned?
Ratlinnet. Actually, that is a really
Made
good
by
one.
Googie.
I will give Googie a hat tip on that one. I think that's a good one. I'd never seen a Ratlinnet bait, so I don't. Maybe there's companies that had it, but um, if you go to the Guggen stuff, we know Dizzle always loved it. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is. We know Randy is a huge fan of the Guggen stuff and has boxes upon boxes of Guggen baits. It's crazy how many this guy has. But one bait, yeah, they did do really well, I think, is the Rattling Ned. Years past, I had really good luck on it, fished it a lot, and I can't find it. Did I pass it?
I think he passed it. But I will say also, I feel like the durability is pretty decent on them also, right there.
Oh,
I feel like the durability is not bad on those as compared to some of
yeah,
the terrible stuff
I would
elsewhere.
agree. The mooncake I really liked, which is like your Okeechobee crawl, and then they have like a South
Ooh, what was
African
the night?
special.
There's like a nightclub or something like that. I think is the one that you
Uh,
enjoyed. The dark
it was the
version of
green
it.
pumpkin goby, but I thought they had. Oh, that might have been the one I was thinking of.
No.
This one, and then they had like a black.
Yeah, I think it's the is it
Oh, Black Flash. Black Flash is it?
mm,
Which is like your South African special. It's got the silver, red, purple, all that flake in it.
is that the right one?
Yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
That one, the goby, and the mooncake are the three that I've really liked. Moon pies, on the other hand, I don't necessarily like them. You could more
Mm-mm.
say that I love them because they're
Mm.
delicious.
Why are you really?
You don't like moon
You love
pies?
them? Dude, it's
Oh,
like
they're good as
ugh,
hell.
ugh,
What?
they're not that good.
Oh my God, Dizzle. I might have to
No,
drop kick you in the face.
they're not that
All right. Yep. Multiple people leaving. Say I'm checking out. Okay. Let's see. Let's do
good.
one more good fun question. So we got that one.
Then,
Let's see. Is there one more? One more. People saying later, getting to bed. Oh, we're
um,
losing people. We need one more sign out question.
oh god,
Oh my God. We're down to 2:30, 2:26.
oh
As I said, people are
god,
leaving.
leave.
Ah, oh no.
Oh man,
Oh, where are they all at? Wasn't meant to
oh good
fish top water.
god.
I'm not sure what that means. Let's see.
Oh, hey, Lure Lab said that the Lure Lab's going night fishing. Debo, if you were to go night fishing right now, what would be your lure of choice? That's my question. Done.
Okay. I would say I'm going to go black or dark purple buzzbait. Run along the grass lines. Boom.
Top water. Yeah.
Top water. Yeah, buzzbait.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, would you just be throwing top water night fishing if you weren't like
No, specifically has to be a buzzbait for the sound and because like you can't see what the hell you're doing. So with
right?
that, you can. They're heavy enough. You can cast them out there. You can see them. Blah 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 blah. Blah. You know that stuff.
La bouche.
All right,
That's the
listen,
blow up
folks.
sound. Yep.
I would give you a happy smile and wave, but I can't because it's perplexed, unhappy Debo that we have here. You got Dizzle, so look at his beautiful face. We're out. I appreciate the hell out of all you guys and gals watching us. We love you. Thanks, and until next time.